you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the Foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
NASRA's version of Groundhog Day continues. We welcome you to night number 4 of the qualifying races in the road to the Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500, presented by Glass Mechanic. And we are ready to do it again. Qualifiers number 10 through 12. They're presented by Blanchard's Towing and Recovery and also DSR Electric. Well, we hope you've had a great day on this Thursday. I'm Wesley Outland, the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves alongside, and the one-man production man that is the Mania guy on the broadcast, Biggles Dean Hopton, ready to punch the buttons and get it rolling again. And if you've joined us the last 3 days, 3 nights, well, it's the same. We're ready to roll. 3 30-lap, 75-mile qualifying races. Top 3 transfer into Saturday's duels. And boy, oh boy, Jacob, we're ready to watch and see what happens. Let's look at our CRN session details. Another chance of weather, but it is cloudy skies and 72 right now. And it is very windy. here too. That's something we're going to have to watch for the first time this week in the final days of the qualifiers. Jacob, good evening, buddy.
Yes, sir. Wesley Outland, good evening to you, and good evening to all the viewers out there on the live chat here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. And, you know, Wesley, to kind of sum it up and what we're going to see here tonight and also Friday and also for the duels is going to be a song that I heard from one of my favorite rock bands called Saliva. Some of you probably have heard of them. And it's Go Big or Go Home. Well, folks, that's what these guys is going to have to deal with for the next 3 days. Tonight with the 3 qualifiers. Then you got the LCQ tomorrow night. Then you got the duels Saturday morning. And if you was able to survive all of it, then you will have a coveted spot out of that 40-car field from what we're understanding, which will be the NASRA 500.
Yeah, for sure. Going to be a fun time here. We're looking forward to bringing it to you as we've done the last 3 nights for our coverage on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, as well as simulcast on the radio, on the Community Radio Network, anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. All right, there you see the information, and if you want to get entered, today is the last day of doing it. We have hit 200 entries, or over 200, and again, Jacob Reeves, we've seen many drivers struggle in the qualifier race this week. This is your last chance to try to get in. We might see some guys try to go for the trifecta and re-qualify in their qualifying races 10, 11, and 12. We'll see what happens here. As right now you have some of the on-track activity going on, and we are looking at some of the qualifying that is taking place as some of the cars are on the racetrack. We usually don't cover qualifying. It is about to come to an end, actually. And it looks like Larry McDonald in the Chevrolet number 74, Jacob, looks like he's going to be the guy to bring him to the pole unless something changes here in about 5 seconds. The countdown clock is about to expire.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able, or anybody's going to be able to knock old McDonald off the pole. And Shasta's man's going to be right there beside of him for some of you Goat Locker fans when we was broadcasting Goat Locker on Thursday nights for their ARCA series. George Jewell, Shasta's man, that's what me and Dean always used to end up calling him. He's going to be up on the front row with him. This is going to be a good one right here.
There you see again, obviously, as we mentioned, it's cloudy, chance of some weather. 71, 72 degrees in the sim temp, and track temp is around the same temperature as well. Let's go to the starting lineup as we look at that Jackson Welders race details. You see what's going on. It's the same as it's been for the last 3 nights. And now, ready to introduce the Florida Cabinet Distributor starting grid for night 4. This is qualifying races 10, 11, 12, into the last chance races tomorrow night here at Virtual Daytona. Larry McDonald and George Jewell will make up the front row. Sterling Dees and Chris Blanchard on row number 2. Nathan Brown, Christopher McCullough from Savannah. Joshua got in last night. We'll see what Chris can do this evening. From the Ghost Racing Network and PGR Esports, Austin Green and Matthew Patton on row 4. Ray Rittenauer, he went for a crazy ride last night. And Vincent Guerrero on row 5. Caden Diedrich and Justin White ready to go from Tennessee, your first 6 rows.
Then J.R. Miller's going to start in the 13th spot with Darren Bruce starting in 14th. Nate Maurer in the 971 is going to roll off from P50 with Taylor Peacock to his outside. That is row number 8. Jesse Baker, Stephen Gregory make up row number 9, and Matt Cherry and the Holodaddy, Mr. Restrictor Plate, Brian Chew, going to be starting in the 20th spot. Eric Zimmerman, Wayne Ruprock will end up being in that next row in row 11, and making up row number 12, Robert Walton and the 57 of Lucas Lyons.
And Lucas Lyons is in your door banging download sponsored 57. Ryan Schreckengost making up row 13 with Daniel Lawless, Austin Evie and Adam Newton on row 14. Row 15, the top 30, Isaac Bevan, Ronnie Brown, the field's rolling off of pit road. Huck Wigginton and Kevin Haas making up row 16. Row 17, the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, a former champion of the NASRA DSR Truck Series, and David Guisty in the number 34 position. The animal, Keith Bradley, he's back. He wants redemption. Watch the man from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and Shane Madden from the Keystone State. He'll start 36 there, Jacob.
And James Wagner is going to start 37th with Bo Tiffany starting 38. Tyler Daniels will be 39. And Anthony Burleson will make up the 40 drivers. Michael Wingo back there in 41st. Matt Garrett's going to be 42nd. Looking back through the field, Kyle Hess is going to be in the 43rd spot. And I believe that is the drivers that will be racing. There you see Bray the Buff, Cody Knock, Casey Minky out there with Robbie Richards. All of them going to be up there enjoying the show up there with race control here for qualifying race number 10.
Parade laps are underway. Let's talk about Daytona International Speedway. It has not changed since the last 3 nights, except maybe the weather conditions and especially the wind that they'll be fighting on, the tailwind going down the back straightaway. This is Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 miles, 4.023 kilometers. There's a tri-oval at 18 degrees, 31 degrees of banking in the corners. That back straightaway measures 3,000 feet, and on the super stretch, it's 910 meters long. The front straightaway, 3,800 feet with 1,200 meters long. Pit road is 1,600 feet and 50 feet wide. The racing surface here, of course, is exciting. An infield of 180 acres, including Lake Lloyd, which is 44 acres in the middle of the infield. And, of course, the racing surface, oh, yeah, they're going to take advantage of every opportunity they can to race on this monster track. That is the Virtual World Center of Racing. Let's take a look one more time at the James Wagner's Welding race details, and I think the biggest thing we hit on again is the zero, no fast repair. There is a chance to go down pit road. You get 2 sets of tires, the original on the car plus another set on pit lane. Fuel capacity could go the distance of 30 laps, Jacob. But again, what we have seen in the last 9 qualifying races since Monday has been overtime. And I got a feeling that will happen again tonight. I don't want to jinx myself, but I just got a feeling history will repeat itself. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, Wesley, I think you might have jinxed it, honestly. I mean, you know what? I mean, at this point, honestly, at this point, I mean, 9 straight races of having a green-white checker to going into overtime. I would not be surprised to see that happen with all 3 of them here tonight. I mean, honestly, keep the record going out of it. But you talked about it right there with the big goose egg right there. Obviously, they got 2 sets of tires. I don't expect these guys to take any tires unless somehow or another they end up getting spun around coming off one of the corners and they don't hit nothing. They may go down and get 4 fresh tires because they might end up flat spotting them. Sliding through the grass or sliding across the asphalt, whatever. So I wouldn't expect anybody to go for the tires. You talked about it, they can make it on the fuel, but I'm telling you, that goose egg has really bit a lot of guys in the backside here this week so far out of these qualifying races. That goose egg for that fast repair has been biting them all week long.
Now, you're exactly right. Big thanks to Blanchard's Towing and Recovery and DSR Electric, some fine sponsors of NASRA over the years to take care of 10, 11, and 12. Pace car is dropping onto the pit lane. 7 minutes after 9 Eastern, 8 Central. The green flag is in the air. We're underway in qualifier race number 10 here at Daytona. We crank it up for Logan and everyone else as we go green for the first one of the night. Here they come, working all 4. And Jewel will lead the opening lap. Blanchard right there behind him, half a second back along with McDonald. Those are your 3 on the opening lap, but still, Jacob, a long way to go. They're up the banking in turn 1.
Yeah, long way to go. Short time to get there. As Joel up top. He's got Blanchard right behind him. McDonald down on the bottom side. Sterling Thies on that bottom side as well, giving the shove. Kind of ironic to see Chris Blanchard, who is big within the super speedways here in NASRA, not to be able to get himself locked in for the duels on Saturday. He's got a good shot right now, sitting in second, coming off 4.
Working down to the tri-oval. 5 miles in, breaking out of line. Watch Guerrero. There's the 114. He's trying to make a move here now on Patton. All the while, we've seen it several nights, and it happens again. The outside lane, where to go. Joel leads the Blanchard. You're on board. Looking at the Winchester rifle Chevrolet of Joel. Lead him to the back straightaway.
Joel better hold on to it as Blanchard hit him at the perfect time off the corner. You don't want to hit him as soon as you come off the corner. Wait till you get onto the flat backstretch. Well, more flat than what the corners is. You want to make sure that you're on level playing surface to be able to make that bump. Don't want to hit him. Coming completely off the corner, you'll spit him out as Joel leads off 4 with Blanchard, McCullough, Patton, and Guerrero to top 5.
Joel up high. Blanchard looking high as well. McCullough right there. We're watching Guerrero now fall back to 5th. He's now going to get a little help as McCullough drops out of line. And now McCullough will pull to the inside. Battles alongside Blanchard. And this goes on as they start to get a side draft, a tandem going on to the back straightaway.
Yeah, and Guerrero actually went from the top, jumped down to the bottom, got right in behind McCullough, and they're going to see if they can get something going. McDonald actually kicked back. He's the 3rd car on the inside lane. Here we go. McCullough, he's going to go to the front. Guerrero's going to go to 2nd. McDonald trying to see if he can get the draft off what Guerrero gave him. Inside lane is straight up about dead. Only 5 of them on the inside lane. Everybody else up at the pit house on the outside.
McCullough's going to power up on the outside lane. Got to push things to Guerrero. Down to the inside. Here comes McDonald. Old McDonald had a farm, and he's going after McCullough, the Georgia boy. Down that back stretch. Guerrero now's got Thies also there in the mix with Joel, too, the pole man, falling back, and we're going to go side by side. 3 wide as Lyons is the 57 in the middle going in the corner.
Yeah, Lyons set it right up the middle. He's got a little bit of help right behind him. Had help right behind him. He ended up hanging him out to dry. That was Caden Deerdich, and Deerdich is going to be stuck in the middle. Newton had to get out of the gas. He almost got in it as well. But like you said, Wesley, old McDonald had a farm, and there's a possibility if he can make it to the duels and make it to the NASRA 500, he might win the whole farm. He might even want people to bet the farm. Old McDonald, he could win it. If he can get there, he's got to get to the duels. He's got to get to the NASRA 500, and Larry McDonald is really, really good here at Daytona.
Back straight away. Into that 3rd turn, McCullough now up in front. McCullough, obviously Joshua was able to get it done last night. We're seeing now what Christopher can do as he leads them off the corner. Don't count out that PGR Esports MMS racing team. Big money races. They know how to go after it. And we got trouble spinning into the grass. Hold on, is that Lions and other cars spinning into the tri-oval. And our first third pro caution of the night will come out. On the Ghost Racing Network 187 and some other cars involved. Caution for the first time here, Jacob. Here's a replay presented by Pulse Poppers.
Yeah, and we're going to see it right there with Austin Green. Lucas Lyons right there in the 57. Please don't let Lucas Lyons be in it. Yep, he was. Actually, looked like he actually bumped Green a little bit too much right there. Was just trying to get a little bit of a bump draft. Maybe they stacked up on the inside lane, ends up spinning Green around. Everybody coming wide open right behind him. Keith Bradley had to make evasive moves to try to dodge Austin Green. Almost ran straight into the back of him. Wow, that could have been a whole lot worse than what it was. There you see it right there. Looked like it was the 87. We've been talking about that 87, the 287 on time to scoring Raymond Rittenauer, who had that wild spin last night. Looked like the inside just stacked up, Green stacked up, and Lyons tried to get on the brakes, wasn't able to do it. spun green around. But like I said, everybody else that come in right there, that could have been a whole lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, for sure. Look at it again now as Lucas Lyons into the T-bone effect of Austin Green as he spins down into the bottom of the infield grass. And we go under caution here. Anybody going to come to pit road? I don't think that's going to happen here right now, Jacob. I really don't. By the way, fastest man of the race, David Gassetti, the Delmarva Racing entry, the 009. He is the fast man. He is all the way back in 17th, 45.634 seconds for that driver.
Yeah, pretty good right there for David. Actually, it started 34th all the way up to 17th. That's how fast you can make these moves here, Wesley. One more driver, real quick, is Anthony Burleson. He started 40th, and he's all the way up to 19th right now. So some of these guys started back there in the back, Wesley. They're trying to work their way on up there to the front very early on.
Gassetti, fast man from Berlin, Maryland, and McCullough from Savannah, Georgia, right now leading the way in qualifier race 10. We're back in just a moment with more from Daytona. Getting ready to work lap number 9. 1 to go indication will also be given to the field. We're also past the top of the hour. Real quickly, we'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification on the Community Radio Network. This is coverage of the NASRA 500. Back here at Daytona, and qualifier race number 10 rolls on. 10 laps completed when they come back to the green flag next time by. This is, again, Blanchard's towing qualifying race number 10 on the Community Radio Network as well as on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland. Beagles Dean Hopton is on production. And, well, Jacob, we got a good racing under our belt before that first caution came out around lap number 8, lap 7. But it has been a great battle between McCullough, Jewel Guerrero, Blanchard, McDonald, all right there in the fight. Still a long way to go.
Yeah, long way to go. Obviously, 21 coming to 20 to go this time by. And there you see Christopher McCullough. Obviously, the brothers is already in it. Joshua, he got in last night. And then, obviously, the other McCullough, the 03 usually that we see, I end up getting it right sooner or later. But all the McCulloughs, except for Christopher, have made it into the duels on Saturday. So Christopher trying to be able to at least make it into those duels. And Wesley, there's a possibility that even though he makes it into the duels, he may not be able to race with his brothers. His brothers may be in a separate duel from him. He may be in 2
right,
and they may be in 1. So I think he's not even worried about that that at this point. I think all he's wanting to do is just get to Saturday and have a night off. I think that's what a lot of these drivers is really thinking right now that have bought in for probably about 9 straight races.
Yeah, the family affair for the McCullough family might be separated by trying to separate conjoined twins. Right now, here we go, down to the line. Green flag back out, Geico restart zone. And let's see if one of the McCullough can get back and be now the second winner. Christopher joining, of course, the man from last night. Right now, Christopher on the restart. McCullough up high from Savannah. He's got now Vincent Guerrero up on his back door. Now behind him, push there, 2-car tandem. Blanchard now trying to hold off the likes of Patton as they work off 2. And there's got to be a lap, Jacob, before they get up to speed.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, George Jewell, I mean, he had a great move. He had a great idea to try to jump down on that inside lane. Problem was, nobody went with him. I thought somebody would at least jump down there and went with him. I mean, Larry McDonald, he's the only one to be able to go with him. As it looks like right now, about the first 8, 9, now 10 drivers. Nathan Brown, Peacock, everybody lining up on that outside lane. Inside only got 2 of them right now with Joel and McDonald. Everybody on the outside lane trying to see if they can just ride some laps and get all the way to the end.
And that's the smart thing to do right now, right? Get in there, tuck in line. Still got a long race. I want to say this. It's a long race, but it's not a long race. It is a sprint. And if you fall back and you play possum too long, Jacob, strategy might be good to do that, but you're coming up on halfway. If your strategy is to fall back to get out of the snake's patch, if you will, out of the danger zone, you better start coming to the front, though, because around 15:10 to go, the clock's run out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big key out of it. I mean, you don't want to get yourself in a bad spot and wait too long, as we're already seeing a couple of guys already maybe thinking that the time is now, and they're going to go ahead and try to shoot it up here and go 3 wide. Thies, I just saw him way up against the outside rotated wall. He is starting to drift back. Up front, though, George Jewell made a charge. McDonald stuck with him. He got a wreck.
Oh, no.
Going into turn 3, 187. That is Austin Green. Saw him spinning a while ago. He's in it. Adam Newton's in it. Justin White's in it. A number of drivers, half the field piling a lap, but literally piling up going into turn 3.
A massive crash. It is a big one. Brian Chu, Ray Rittenauer, Austin Green, Kevin Haas, Wayne Rupchat, Tyler Daniels, Daniel Lawless, James Wagner, Michael Wingo, Huck Wigginton, Robert Walton, Justin White, and others. A big wreck to put us under our second Serve Pro caution now on lap number 13, just before halfway there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Green right there in the 187. Obviously, past 2 cautions, he's been involved in them, and he was getting a huge shove from Deerditch right there in the 224, ends up shoving him. And I think what happened right here was there was one driver, J.R. Miller, saw that run, and I think he just jumped over a little bit too late. Deerditch was all over the back of Green. Miller was trying to jump up and get that boost as well, but he done it too late, Wesley. And what happened is obviously it stacked everybody up. Deerditch gets into Green, and then from there on, everybody's trying to survive and try not to get caught up in the big one that just literally exploded going into turn number 3.
Look at this again, Austin Green. Right there, the A&A Auto Tech entry and a whole host of other cars right there. I mean, it started with Green, and then he kind of got lucky and got back in this thing. He might not have a black meatball flag. He might be able to continue, but then it's the thing of not the car that started it, Jacob. It's the cars that tried to miss it that got collected and got big damage.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those drivers, a couple of them, NASRA regulars, there you see. Whoa, boy, Green obviously come off the wall, jump down right in front of Ronnie Brown. Adam Newton, oh, Murph's Magical Creations, number 19, ends up getting right rear hook, gets set up into the wall. Look like Keith Bradley, yep, right there in the yellow, blue, and red. Number 29, he was able to slide by it just a little bit right there. I also seen that Lucas Lyons, the 57, slid by it just barely. as we're going to see right here from a, wow, we're going to ride on board with Keith Bradley. Watch this right here, Wesley, because I'm telling you, he saw all kinds of smoke. Oh, look at that.
I'm just blowing smoke. Woo! Yeah, down to the inside, and he missed it. Oh, baby.
I'll tell you what, that's crazy.
Drink a little drink, smoke a little smoke. He might be doing that after this is over here, Jacob. Watch just one more time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my.
And look at that 57 right there, Wesley. The 57, Lucas Lyons, he actually had a pretty cool little shoot through. If we can see Lucas right here, because he shot through this thing. Watch this, because, I mean, literally, he was in the middle. He goes down to the bottom. You see smoke. You see cars. He's on the brakes. He almost gets run over. He's got one up top. There's Newton. Newton, oh, wow, comes down just a little bit. And, folks, you can go below that double yellow line to miss the wreck. You can't do it in your possession, but if there's a wreck, yeah, you can dive right down there, no problem, to be able to miss all the chaos that's happening in front of you.
Watch this one more time, and big thanks to Murph's Magical Creations and our fabled cigar-smoking unicorn went for a ride here. Look at this. Spinning down to the infield. The Bulldog, Adam Newton, able to continue. 2 cars up into the fence there as well. I believe that's Wagner's car and Justin White. Watch this up high. The Kodiak car. And watch this. Justin White in the green. Green got away again. Now, what would happen? Oh, man.
I mean, he really didn't have anywhere to go. I mean, he kind of got up into the wall. Maybe had some suspension damages. We're hearing our producer stuck in the middle with you. Pretty much that's what he was. He was stuck in the middle
to the left of me.
To the wall. I mean, literally. I mean, that's what it was. 066 being Robert Walton. But, Wesley, that took out a bunch of them right there. But from what I'm seeing, nobody got a meatball flag. So everybody, they've got damage, but they're not out of it. I mean, they can go down and get some damage fixed and try to get back out there. But some of those guys that took some hard hits right there, they will have some type of aero damage that is going to really hurt them right here on this restart.
Understanding we're just shy 90 of 1,000. I'd like to get that by the end of Friday. Speaking of Murph's Magical Creations, let's step away and thank that man for sponsoring the NASRA 500 and NASRA in general. We're back for the restart next.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love.
Big thanks to all of the sponsors, but of course right there, speaking of Adam Newton's car and Murph's Magical Creations, it was just a great segue. Halfway home, the field is now under 14 to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone. Pace car is in. James Wagner's welding race details show you 16 in, 14 to go. Back underway in qualifier number 10. Let's do it again, Jacob, see what happens.
Yeah, let's see if they can keep it clean right here. Obviously, we've already had 2 big ones. Well, kind of a mini big one, and then, only 1 car, and then you had half the field. So we'll see if they can keep it clean and green all the way to the end. And Christopher McCullough, he's got it. Blanchard right now in second. Guerrero sitting in third. George Jewell, he's back there in fourth. J.R. Miller was able to avoid all that chaos. Ended up putting a bad block, but he's still going to get the beneficiary and be up here inside the top 5. So watch out for Miller to have a shot right here at the end.
Over the years, I've called some of the big races for the McCullough family and MMS Money Racing. As a matter of fact, NASRA's broadcasted some of their races in the past. You know how good the McCullough family are. And when it comes to super speedways, Jacob Reed, do not disregard how good and a talent that family is. We saw one driver win last night in the McCullough family, and now we see here in this second one, or the first qualifier for Thursday, Christopher McCullough holding off Maine's Blanchard. Guerrero now right behind them, and they all get single file in the first 5, and we got another Serve Pro caution. Look out into the pack. The 95 car turns in to 2 or 3 other cars. That, of course, is Tony Burleson.
Wow.
And the yellow flag will fly again for the 3rd time. Pulse Popper instant replay, Jacob, and it kind of happened coming right off the back straightaway where the big one happened right before halfway.
Wow, another big one right there. There you see Anthony Burleson. Looks like he kind of gets into, looks kind of like a throwback Terry Labonte car right there on that outside lane. Nate Maurer, whoa! Nate Maurer split the difference. Shot right through the middle. He was able to pull it off and not get caught up in it. But the driver that ended up going around out of all of that was David Gusti in the 009. He was the one that ended up getting hooked right there off Burleson. He ended up getting sent around. And I know we saw it out there in the live chat was that the 009 with A+ wreck avoidance, that was the other one, not this one. Because he ends up getting hooked right there, but it was a stack up on the inside lane, Wesley. This happens more times than I can count in these next-gen cars with just this inside lane getting runs. Then all of a sudden, the second guy in line, he's got a lift. Third guy in line's got a lift. Everybody's got a lift, and it just, I mean, it's a chain reaction all the way to the back. You see it right there. Everybody stacks up. And then all of a sudden, somebody's going to end up getting the short end of the stick like I was talking about last night. And unfortunately, it's Gusti. And then after that, everybody else gets the short end of the stick right there. Anthony Burleson gets in it. Looks like that was J.R. Miller, I think, also got in it as well. So a lot of guys getting the short end of the stick right here in Qualifier 10.
It's been fun the last 4 nights, obviously tonight as well. But the deja vu will come to an end tomorrow night. We'll get all the details on the last chance qualifiers. 100-lapper hooligan races tomorrow. We'll have them for you beginning at the same time. You're on board now with Stephen Gregory. There goes the 95 down to the bottom of the racetrack of Burleson. And a whole host of other cars caught up in that incident, able to pull away is a good thing here, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them able to pull away. I don't believe anybody's got a meatball flag. Other than Justin White having a black flag, according to the entries. But everybody else, nobody's got a meatball flag. So they're wrecking like crazy. I mean, they're all wrecking, but nobody's straight up totaling their car. I mean, nobody's trashing their car or nothing like that. But, I mean, they're sending it. And, I mean, some of these moves, I question some of the moves that they're making. But, I mean, everybody's sending it, Wesley. I mean, it's go time. These 30 laps, believe it or not, they go by very quickly. And believe it or not, they go by, you would think I'm crazy, but they go by quicker when you have this amount of caution laps because it's less laps that you got a chance to advance your position and less chances for you to be able to get up there into that top 3.
Yeah, you're not lying. He ain't lying.
No.
3 cars looking to go to the 3 cars right now. McCullough, Blanchard, Guerrero right now trying to transfer here as we're closing in on the 20th lap of the race with 10 to go. There's the pace car. Anybody pitting? I haven't really seen anybody pit. I mean, literally, except guys that have been caught up in accidents. Maybe Bevan, Rupchit, followed by Cherry, maybe Haas, Newton, Gregory, cars that were caught up in the accidents and pitted. But other than that, Jacob, none of the front runners have come to pit road. We got the lights off on the pace car. The guys that are on pit road are trying to scamper ahead of the pace car and get back on track as the 1 to go indications being given. We're coming back to green next time around, my friend.
Yeah, Wesley, and you was talking about some of those cars scampering, trying to get out of the pits. One thing, about iracing that is really awesome, honestly, is that you actually have a relative box when you're in the sim and when you're racing. You have a relative box to see how far somebody's behind you, about a second, 2 seconds, maybe even a tenth of a second, however you want to look at it. You got that relative box. And I've been in wrecks before, Daytona, Talladega. I've been in a lot of wrecks. I've been in more than I can count. But at the same time, when you're on pit road, thank you, Dean. He's over there. Yeah, we know. Well, but anyway,
people, we have a guy in our ear telling us junk while we're live on the air, and Jacob's basically getting, dogged about his driving ability.
Anyway,
sorry, Jacob. Sorry, brother.
You can, but the point I'm trying to make is that you have that relative box, and believe it or not, it actually does show the pace car on the relative box. So a lot of drivers will stand there, try to get those repairs fixed until they see the pace car show up. Maybe 2 seconds back, maybe even 3 seconds back if they still got damage, and then they'll just gas up and carry on. That way they don't have to have somebody sit there and say, the pace car's in this particular spot or whatever if you're racing by yourself. So that relative tool is a great, great tool to have. And another one is also your dash, which also tells you what your oil temp and your water temp is, which is something I think every single one of these drivers has got locked in, because you're going to need it if you've been doing a lot of pushing here in these qualifiers.
Ready to give you the top 10 as the field gets ready to come back to green. McCullough, Guerrero, Blanchard, Garrett, Miller, Peacock, Jewell, Bradley, and Patton. Back on their way with single digits now. 9 to go. McCullough gets the jump on the field in the turn 1. That's 31 degrees of banking they're climbing. It'll take a lap or two before we get back to full song. Hopefully we can finish under green.
Yeah, man, you were talking about single digits, and how about single file up on the top side? Nobody wanting to help out the 019 of Matt Garrett. Bradley's going to shove him 3 wide. Did not even want to help him out. Now Garrett will find a line. One driver jumps out of line. That's Caden Deerdich. He's going to shoot out a line back there in the back. But Christopher McCullough, Guerrero, Blanchard, they're trying to go all the way to Saturday and not have to worry about tomorrow.
Here they come for the line. 3 wide. Contact. Trouble in the back. They're crashing again. You just saw a glimpse of it below the start-finish line, and there they go. Gregory, Chew, and others. I just saw a glimpse of it on the top left when they were coming to the line to 8 to go, and you know what? Broke loose coming off of 4 in the back there, Jacob.
Yeah, I saw it, just a glimpse of it, maybe. Obviously, right here on this Points Poppers instant replay. Thank you very much to Points Poppers for sponsoring with NASRA and also a part of the NASRA 500. You see Adam Newton right here getting a shove from his teammate, I guess. It was Swim Brian Chew. Looks like they kind of just got the bad push right there. Guy on the middle lane was just dropping back, and they just timed it wrong. I guess he hit him too hard, ends up knocking him around, and then everybody literally piles in. Anthony Burleson, the 95, he gets in it again. He gets in another wreck. There you see Chew trying to turn through the trial as well.
Yeah, the 009, Jacob, with the Terry Labonte Kellogg's throwback car, might be the smartest man in the game, because he knew to get to the bottom of the apron and drive in the infield grass to avoid that accident. Got to give props to him as we watch now Daniel Lawless and some other onboard cameras of accidents here.
Yeah, David Gusti, obviously talking about his A-plus wreck avoidance. There you go. As Daniel Lawless, that might have been where that started right there.
Yeah.
He actually side drafted, came down. That's Hup Wigginton in the 42. Looks like he kind of maybe just lost it just a little bit right there in the corner. Trying to come down side draft. He's going to literally door bang or quarter bang, however you want to look at it. With Hup Wigginton and Matt Cherry. Scrub speed slips back a little bit, and he's just basically wobbling around all over the place. Newton shoving Chew, and then at that point, shoves Lawless straight into Gregory. They come up the track. They hook another driver, and then after that, it's chaos. And then there you was talking about Gusti right there in the 009.
Let's go on board, Jacob.
That's
let's
how you
go on board, Gusti. Yeah, man. Let's go to the man in 31st, David Gusti. The fastest man so far of the race is still back in 30th. But probably the move and the save of maybe the week, in my opinion, of the qualifier. Watch this again, Jacob. Just smart driving.
Check this out right here. Hey, you see that right there? Wesley, I have done that numerous times. I tell everybody this, and everybody thinks I'm crazy when I go to some of these super speedways. I love racing on the bottom of the racetrack. And why do I love racing on the bottom of the racetrack? Because 9 times out of 10, if you've got a wreck in front of you, 9 times out of 10, you got a way to get around it because you got all that open space down there in the grass, down there on the apron. You got all that. If you're up top and a wreck happens, you just got to hit the brakes and hope nobody runs you over like Robert Walton did right there with, I believe, Brian Chew. So you got to have a bailout. That's what I call it. You got to have a bailout area.
Watch this. I'm board with Adam Newton and then Brian Chew. Let's see how their angles look on camera. Look at this. This is Adam Newton. They call him the Bulldog and that Murph's Magical Creation Machine. Now let's watch Austin Green. Austin just got on the brakes, dude. He said, I'm avoiding this one, fellas.
Or
oh, he
almost didn't.
Oh, by the way, he's also
Green.
He's also a fellow broadcaster of the Ghost Racing Network. If people ever want to check out his iRacing coverage as well. So, Jacob, you were saying, by the way, we're going to come back to Green, 5-lap shootout here in, of course, Blanchard's Towing qualifier race number 10.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Green, literally, he has had a qualifying race to forget because it seems like every single wreck, he's been around it. So I think he wants to try to steer clear of everything and just try to get it back home in one piece.
We're in the regular distance of the race with now 5 laps to go. By the way, drivers involved in that last accident included Daniel Lawless, Ronnie Brown, Stephen Gregory, Robert Walton, Adam Newton, Austin Green, Ronnie Brown, and of course also Ryan Gucci. And we got trouble again, trouble in 1 and 2, and they're wrecking again, crashing. In 1 and 2, another host of cars. It is Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man, Isaac Bevan, Huck Wigginton. Some of the cars involved crash again with 4 to go. This sets up the inevitable for the 10th time since Monday. We're going to overtime in Daytona for the qualifying races.
Yeah, and Wesley, this is one of those. This is one of those instances right here. There you see the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, in the 220 right there. This is what gets me right here. This is what racks my brain. Because obviously, Wesley, we talked about it. I'm a driver at heart. I race as well. But some of this right here, what I'm saying right there you see Isaac Bevan ends up hooking another driver straight into the Spice Man, Chris Cinnamon, and sends him around. I don't understand why that happened right there. That's just me. I don't understand why. You have time to see what's going on, but he never lifted. It looks like he never lifted right there. Isaac Bevan just drives in there. You'll see it right here. There's time. Baker right there. He's lifted. He sees the car jump up in front. Bevan, he saw it, from a mile away, and he just never lifted off the gas and just runs Baker straight over. It ends up sending him into Cinnamon, and then after that one, we got another parking lot. We've had a lot of parking lots right here in Qualifier 10, but that one right there could have been avoided by a mile.
Another look at it again. Blanchard showing qualifying race number 10 is now going into overtime, as we've done since Monday. Another look at it again. Look at the impact. Can we go on the 220? There's Jesse Baker. There's a whole host of other cars involved. Let's find the 220 and get you on board with him. Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man. He's in 39th. Our buddy out of Canada. Watch this. From Fort McMurray, Ontario, Canada. Watch it. Oh, man.
Wesley, that's one of the hardest. That's just one of the hardest accidents to have to deal with. Well, absolutely. It is one of the hardest hits of the week, but that's one of the hardest wrecks to deal with because you're just riding along, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're gone, and there's no way to get out of it. There's absolutely no way to get out of it, and you get blindsided by a right rear hook. Now, obviously, Baker didn't do it intentionally because he was already getting turned anyway. But at the same time, those are some of the wrecks where you literally scratch your brain and you're just sitting there like, why?
How did that happen?
Because honestly, it happens so quick when you get right rear hooked like that. It will literally make you just scratch your head and just wonder why that even happened and why was I in that position? Why was I in that position? What could I have done to avoid it? And honest truth, there's nothing.
Nothing you can do. Qualifiers 10, 11, and 12 here tonight on this Thursday. on the NASRA 360 Racing Network and on the Community Radio Network for radio coverage is presented by DSR Electric as well as Blanchard's Towing. Blanchard's Towing and Repair up in Maine. And I'm sure their services are being used completely around this time of the year with all that snow all on the ground. Oh, my goodness. I tell you. A lot of Blanchard's virtual towing and repair being used tonight. Yeah, we need tow trucks. Yeah, we need the jet dryers and the air titans and all that good stuff out here. Yeah. All right, Jacob, we're getting ready to go to an overtime here, man. It's going to be, well, actually.
It's not.
We are still in the regular scheduled distance. Pace car is coming on the pit lane. Holy camole, we got a 2-lap shootout here. We're still in the regular distance. That's right. We got a shot. I don't think it'll be any good, but we got a shot. As long as you got 2 fists and a thumb, you got a shot. Back to green, 5 miles. And we are still in the regular scheduled distance. We are not in overtime yet. We were told from race control that if they have to speed up and have quickie yellows to get the race back going for more green flag, that they would. And watch now, Patton. Oh, boy, let's watch and see what these guys can do. Keep an eye on Keith Bradley, by the way. Trying to move on to the inside of this pack. Right now, it's still McCullough, Blanchard, and Peacock on the back straightaway. And we're wrecking again. Back straightaway into 2. Back stretch, a parking lot, 4 or 5 cars wrecked again. Starting to pull away. Down to the bottom of the apron of the racetrack, and we are wrecked again. We are now going to overtime now. James Wagner, Ryan Schreckengoss, Eric Zimmerman, Tyler Daniels. The quad car involved in an accident on the back straightaway to cause overtime for the 10th qualifying race in a row. I spoke too soon. Sorry.
I mean, it is what it is right there. Tyler Daniels, you talked about him. Darren Bruce as well right there. Darren Bruce actually in that white car right there come down, got into Tyler Daniels, set him around. James Wagner ends up piling in as well. And Bruce, this is weird right here if you see Darren Bruce right there. I mean, look at that right there. Actually, that's Schreckengoss that ends up getting spun as well out of that. But right behind him, it was Daniels and Bruce that ended up going around and ended up sending Schreckengoss into the wall. There you see Tyler Daniels making some hard impacts. But this is what blows my mind is you're going to see Tyler Daniels end up getting right rear hooked right there. Bam, there it goes. And I was sitting there looking at Darren Bruce, and I don't know, Wesley. Some of these right here, some of these right rear hooks, they could be paybacks. They could be loose. Watch it right there on the left side. Darren Bruce just comes straight down like he ain't even there. I mean, and you could say, well, he got loose. There's a possibility, he just got loose right there going in, or coming off turn 2. These cars have a tendency to get loose coming off of turn 2. But I mean, boy, oh boy. I mean, it just, Wesley, I hate to take you catchphrase on that one, but boy, oh boy, it just seems like it's the same old stuff every single time when we see some of these wrecks.
And the lyrics to Aerosmith, same old story, same old song and dance, my friend. Darren Bruce on board with him in the 14. Watch this. Oh boy, tags the 003, and man, that's what happened. That's how it started right there. Man, Darren Bruce, come on, buddy. The 093, I meant to say.
Oh, man. Well, here's the thing, Wesley. All we can do right now is hope that we have a green flag finish out of this thing, like we did last night. And, there was a couple of them we actually had some pretty good green flag finishes in overtime.
They started really good. I mean, the opening started this qualifier race. They got about 10 laps in, and then all of a sudden it was, lamb chops play along with a caution flag in his hand. I mean, come on. This is the race that doesn't end, but it does end because there's only one attempt at overtime. Coming up, it'll be the Florida Cabinet Distributors post-race victory lane celebration and the Community Radio Network CRN post-race interviews. Big thanks again also to Blanchard's Towing and Repair. A lot of repairs being used here tonight in this first qualifying race. And if you're keeping track, this is the 10th time since Monday night that we've had to have overtime. overtime to get in to the finish of these qualifying races. Peacock right now there alongside with Thies. Right there, Thies right there. Trying to get that third spot. Guerrero, Diedrich, don't count him out. Pace car coming on the pit lane. Wrapping up our 6th Serve Pro caution. Overtime.
Green flag.
Back to green and Blanchard's towing and repair. Qualifying race 10, 5 miles to go. Here in Daytona, restart, McCullough. He's on the inside now. Opens the door to Blanchard. Blanchard up on the outside. He's got help. So does the inside lane as they'll go side by side into 2. McCullough picks up speed first, though, Jacob.
And wouldn't it be crazy to see Chris Blanchard as well? McCullough jumps up in front of Blanchard. Wouldn't it be crazy to see Chris Blanchard winning the Blanchard's Towing and Recovery Qualifier 10? Wouldn't that be crazy to see? But it ain't over yet. Here comes Peacock down to the inside. He's got Dierdich right behind him, working their way off turn 4, coming to the white.
And they're bobbing, they're weaving, they're sideways, holding it together down to the line. White flag. 1 to go. The West Texas Pepper Traders white flag. Final lap. Wreckers or Checkers is on. McCullough now under attack by Peacock on the inside. He'll carry Diedrich with him in 1.
Peacock down on the inside. Dierdich going to give him the shove right behind him. You got Matthew Patton. He's trying to get him a transfer spot. Peacock gets knocked sideways. Dierdich straightens it back out. Here comes McCullough on the outside. He's got Blanchard 3 wide right behind him. George Jules shoots the middle. Outside lane. Looks like they may have something. He jumps down in front of Peacock. McCullough. And they're behind him.
And they're crashing behind them. Jewel and Bradley and others. Here they come to the line. Qualifier number 10. How about you, buddy, from Maine? Blanchard's towing. Qualified race 2 is going to go to the boss, Chris Blanchard. Chris Blanchard over Thies and Guerrero coming out of turn 4. Could not happen to a better man right there, Jacob.
I called it, Wesley. I was sitting there thinking, boy, I said it as well. Wouldn't it be something to see Chris Blanchard win the Blanchard's Towing 75 right here for qualifier number 10, and he pulls it off. Check this move out right here. They were wrecking like crazy behind them. Watch this, Blanchard up top. McCullough just lost his help. Everybody tried to go around McCullough. They were trying to figure out a way to get in that top 3.
That's right.
And then at that point, Thies just stayed on Blanchard's bumper and stayed committed. Didn't worry about trying to go around him and trying to hang him out to dry. He stayed committed to Blanchard, and it pays off for him. It pays off for Guerrero as well, as all 3 of them get transfers into Saturday morning's news.
Let's pick up the crash real quickly if we can as we see Blanchard celebrating. Let's pick up what happened coming to the end of the race. It's important, though. Let's go back to turn 4. Pick up Bradley, Keith Bradley and Joel and all them crashing. This was coming to the white flag. We're going to kind of fast forward a little bit for you. We're living in fast forward like Kenny Chesney does all his life. Come on, guys. Pick up speed. Yeah, just going fast forward. There we go. There we go. Picking up speed. There we go. Back straightaway. All right, Jacob. Now here they come to the back straightaway. This is where the shuffle dance began. The dance party began. Some people lost their dance partner, and one of them was Bradley and Jewel as they started to get shuffled 3 wide behind them in a couple of rows. This was coming to the flag here, coming off of 4.
Yeah, Joel, he took a shot, tried to go to the middle, thought somebody maybe would go with him. He went all the way back to Lucas Lyons trying to help him out. And then there you'll see some contact right there with George Joel. Ends up getting into one driver. Looked like that was the 74. That was Larry McDonald he ends up getting into and sends him around. And then at that point, chaos once again.
And Lucas Lyons missed it. Let the celebration begin. Blanchard Towing and Repair qualifying race number 10 goes to the boss, Chris Blanchard. And I tell you, it couldn't go to a hell of a nicer guy. Let's take a look at the results. Here they are of the top 3 going to the duels on Saturday. And yes, one is Chris Blanchard. Sterling Thies, we'll talk to him. Vincent Guerrero got around McCullough, Diedrich, Peacock, and all them on the last lap. It was wild. And those drivers from 4th to 14th, as we mentioned, can go to the last chance qualifier tomorrow night, or they can try to buy back, and run another qualifying race. And I got a feeling you'll see some of those names again coming up before the end of the night. McCullough, Diedrich, Peacock, the top 5, along with Peacock, Patton, Tiffany, Lyons, your car in the top 10 there with Lucas behind the wheel. Cherry, Baker, Rettenauer, Jewel, again, 4th to 14th to the last chance qualifier. Then it's Haas, Brown, Green, Garnett, your top 18, Jacob.
You go all the way to the 19th spot is where you're going to find David Gusti, who obviously took that shot through the grass. He ends up finishing 19th here tonight. Anthony Burleson will finish 20th. J.R. Miller is going to finish 21st. Wayne Ruprop will finish in the 22nd spot. Adam Newton, not too good for Merck's Magical Creations. He will finish 23rd with Tyler Daniels finishing in 24th. Nate Maurer is going to finish 25th with Justin White in 26th. Ronnie Brown, 27th, and the Animal, Keith Bradley, 28th.
Rest of the lineup here, well, the top 30 will find Brian Chu, Eric Zimmerman, Larry McDonald, and he's the first car, one lap down. Michael Wingo, James Wagner, Kyle Hess, Darren Bruce, Ryan Schreckengoss, Isaac Bevan, Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man. One of the hardest hits we've seen probably all of Speed Week for the NASRA 500. He's 38th. Huck Wigginton, the boss behind Concerns of Police Survivors, is 39th. Stephen Gregory, 40th. Daniel Lawless, Robert Walton, Shane Madden, the 43-car field. Casey Mink as well. Robert Richards, Brady LaBeouf, and Cody Knott were race directors. We're going to now grab, after our Florida Cabinet Distributors Victory Lane, we go down to the CRN post-race interviews, and man, I'm looking forward to this one, probably of all week long. Let's see what they got to say. And first off, winner of Blanchard's Towing and Repair qualifying race number 10, the man behind Blanchard's Towing, and a hell of a nice guy. Chris Blanchard, you got it done, man. This has got to be like one of your biggest achievements of iRacing, sir. Way to go. Congrats.
It is, with the guys that were in that, Chris McCullough and whatever, J.D. Miller and the other guy. I'm not even going to botch his name, so Vince or whatever his name is. If you can come off with a win with those guys working together, then you accomplish something. So it feels pretty good.
And Chris, we've seen you do some amazing things at Daytona, Talladega, and even Atlanta for the Super Speedway. You've kind of been one of the top dogs as far as Super Speedway with NASRA. And I asked the same question to one driver last night, but I ask you the same one. I mean, does it mean more to go ahead and literally go through it all week to fight, everybody to be able to get into this transfer rather than just have a one-off in the very first 1, 2, 3 races and just go ahead and transfer? Does it mean a little bit more now that you've had to fight your way all week?
It does, because I have one of the top I have the second fastest qualifying lap of the week. So that only counts if I make it into the 500. If I make it into the 500, I'm either starting second or first. So now I can bypass the LCQs, go to the duels, and then work my way in. And I'm starting up higher in the duels by winning this qualifier. So I'll have I'll be able to ride. I won't be in defense mode, I won't be in the back trying to race my way to the front. I'll be semi up in the front and be able to control my destiny a little better.
A pretty solid place, probably about in the top 6 rows is where we'll see Blanchard in the duels on Saturday morning. Chris, please thank your sponsors. Obviously, thanks for what you do for NASRA. What's your take of what this event has meant for NASRA and how long you've supported it for so many years?
I was kind of skeptical with the layout with the rebuys and everything like that. But after doing it for a week, it's phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, we could get a fast repair. We could have a qualifier and get a fast repair, but that takes the fun out of it. That takes the guys are going to drive like an ass until they have to use their fast repair. This year, if you want to drive like an ass, it's going to cost you $10 to do another race. And that just makes the pot of what's going to be paid out at the end of the week a lot bigger than that. Like, I think I've raced at least 2 qualifiers every night. Like, I'm in the duels now, and I'm going to race the second and third race tonight just because it's fun. Like, and it gives me experience with the guys that I never raced with.
And what is that like? What is that like racing with people that you normally don't compete with, like on the NASRA League, Chris?
Well, you have to with the new update they did on Tuesday. You have to be right on the bumper of the car in front of you, or you're gonna lose the draft. So it's forcing you to drive with the the Ronnie Browns or the Matt Pattons or the Stephen Mills. Like, I'm naming guys that are in my next race, guys that I haven't raced with before. So it's forcing me to put a little bit of faith in them, and they have to have a little bit of faith in me. So it's making the racing a little better. And I think once you get to the LCQs tomorrow night and then the duels on Saturday, you're going to see the progression of the races get even better because people are getting locked in. And when you get to the duels on Saturday, it's going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to be clean racing. There's going to be some fuel mileage in it, and it's just going to
hope.
fingers crossed,
That's right. Yeah. Well, buddy, thank you for your time, Chris. Obviously, we could say Blanchard's Towing and Repair. You're the sponsor. You're the sponsor of the qualifying race. Could not happen to a nicer guy, man. Congrats getting that number 9 Chevrolet to victory lane here in your sponsored qualifier race number 10, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, sir.
Thank you. I gotta say thank you to Adam Newton. Like, yeah, he's been phenomenal. He's been in my ear all week. I feel bad for him because he hasn't been in a position to make it into the duels. He's making it in the LCQ. So I want to thank all the MILFs out there that make him race so he gets the enjoyment every night. I'm watching you guys on the broadcast and the YouTube channel and everything like that. So that's the special thanks to Adam Newton tonight.
Well, buddy, thanks for your time, man. Good luck. Go get him in the rest of those heat races. If you decide to pay for the extra $10, John Ward, you can run the other qualifying races, even though you won the duels. Thank you, buddy. Congratulations, Chris Blanchard. Let's grab now second place, and let's hear from, is it Sterling Thies? Am I saying your name correctly, Sterling?
The last name's pronounced Thess.
Thess, okay. Sterling, so like Thess, like this, with a little extra adage to it. So Sterling Thess. Sterling, you will finish in second. We've seen your name the last couple of nights, man. Your take of at least getting in here, finishing second, and obviously qualifying for the duels on Saturday.
Yeah, that's I actually looked ahead of time before we got in this race, and I thought second place would put me in Duel 2, and I feel like Duel 2 is going to be my best chances of advancing Saturday to get into the 500, so things worked out as best as they could for me tonight. Now I'm just excited to get into these next 2 races and learn a little bit more.
Yeah, Jacob, let me clarify for you, ask Sterling this question. If you decide to pay another $10, you can buy back into the other qualifying races. But again, if you win your duel or you win your qualifier race or you're in the top 3, you're guaranteed for the top 3 on Saturday morning. But if you choose to race again, that's your prerogative. There's nothing saying, Jacob, that they can't do that. Yeah. If Sterling Thies wants to go out and go back and rerun again to get more experience, he can do that.
Absolutely. Yes, he can. And Sterling, real quick, we do want to apologize for butchering your name all week, but I think we got you lined up on this one.
It wasn't intentional, Sterling. I promise.
Was not. It was not.
I'm used to it. I used to race in real life, and it was never pronounced right.
But Sterling, just tell us about this event. What it would mean to you to win the Great American Sim Race, the NASRA 500.
Oh, it would be pretty badass since it's the first one, and the Rattled Cage podcast, that's actually a podcast a friend and I do. We sponsored the pools for this week, so to be able to go out there and be in it as a sponsor would really add to it if we could go out there and get the win.
Yeah, real quickly, again, I want to send a big thanks to Rattled Cage Podcast for the Pole Award. We'll find out, obviously, again, who will be for the Big 500 on Saturday, but the Rattled Cage Podcast Pole Award for all of the qualifiers and, of course, leading up to the last chance races and the big race on Saturday. So, Sterling, are you going to try to run some more qualifiers? Are you happy? Going to call it a night and see you Saturday morning?
I'm going to run these next two, get a little bit more practice in, get a little bit used to running with some of these guys we might see Saturday.
All right, buddy, before we let you go, thank your sponsors, man. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, once again, go shout out the Rattled Cage Podcast. That's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Pod. We break down every Cup race. You can get on there. We'll be doing a live show every Saturday or Sunday morning, and give us a listen. Last week we had a guy win a couple thousand off of just $10. So
there you go, Sterling Thiss, right again, getting it done in that number 41. He'll finish second. Let's go down to Vincent Guerrero, and Vincent Guerrero will finish in third in the 114. Vincent, you kind of waited patiently up in the top 10, lying in the weeds, waited for the overtime, if you will, the push, and then you got to the front. You're in the podium. And you're in the duels on Saturday, sir. Congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that was fun. I was up front towards the end of that race there. Good part. There was a lot of cautions at the end there, and I got shuffled back on that last restart before, that last one. I got shuffled back to I think 8th or 6th or something like that, starting on the outside there. And so, man, it was a tough race, I tell you that.
Yeah, it seemed like it, honestly, Vincent. Do you feel like, I seem like a broken record asking this question, but do you feel like that it's going to be more chaotic when we get to the duels on Saturday?
I hope not. I hope not. At least up front. Towards the middle and the back part, yeah, I would say so. I think that's what everybody was trying to do here in this race, was trying to make it maybe to the LCQs and bringing out the cautions. So I have to go back and watch the race, but I hope not. I hope we get pretty good long, stints there to race.
Well, Vincent, before we let you go, man, please thank your sponsors, and we'll see you on Saturday. Or are you going to try to run some more qualifiers? Are you having fun out there? If we just could have some longer green flag racing, right?
No, yeah. I mean, longer green flag racing. Yeah, my goal tonight was, I was already in the LCQs. My goal was to make it into the duels and bypass the LCQs. This is actually my second race for NASRA. So it's good that you guys put up this event. I haven't ran it before. I don't know if you guys had this event before, but this is my first time here. So I'm having a blast. Yeah, so second race, and I was trying to get myself bypass the LCQs, and I got it done. I wasn't looking too good there at the end, but I was managing to be able to pull off a good run there at a 4. I don't know what happened on there on the bottom, maybe a checkup, a bad push or something, but I'll take it. I'll take third. And I want to thank my sponsor. Well, I don't really have a sponsor, but I do. I do dedicate my night with running this Budweiser paint scheme, and I'll crack one open right now to
I hear it. You got my colleague. You got my colleague Jacob excited. You got my colleague Jacob excited. All right, you open up a can, you pop a top, and he's like all giddy right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I also want to thank my teammates, my team that I race. I race with Nightmare Esports. I'm sure that you guys probably seen them around here in NASRA.
Oh yes.
So I'm just another guy in that team. So hopefully I won't be the last that you hear of me up here in the front. So hopefully everything goes good.
There you go. There's the thoughts. Go ahead.
And I also want to I can't forget my son. He's actually turning 23 today, so I want to give a big old shout out to my son. Happy birthday, and thanks to my wife for letting me do what I do.
All right, I want you to break out and start singing "Happy Birthday." Okay, we're all going to sing it together. You ready?
No,
We're gonna do it on three.
no. I'm not
Happy
singing
birthday to you.
to you.
There you go. That'll work. All right.
Birthday.
There you go. Happy birthday, buddy Guerrero and Vincent.
All
Thanks,
right.
man. I don't want to get our numbers to drop. Thank you for your time, my friend. Vincent
no
Guerrero finished in third. Of course, Theft and Blanchard. Chris Blanchard. Blanchard's Towing and Repair. Qualifier race number 10. Yes, if you want to re-qualify, pay $10. Buy back, you're in again. A lot of these guys are doing it. And we're taking a break and getting ready for DSR Electric qualifying race 11, the penultimate race of the qualifiers in the road to the NASRA 500 from Daytona. We're back in just a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Hang on, we're not going green.
Getting ready for DSR Electric qualifying race number 11. And they're already on the super stretch. Let's give you your starting lineup. And we'll give you the lineup here in just a moment as they get ready to get posted here. Ryan Andrew and Brian Hennings will make up the front row. You might see some names from earlier in again, and even the winners talk about from the podium doing it again here. Jordy Lopez, Logan York on row 2. Jason Maines, Matthew Patton on row 3. Stephen Trombley, J.R. Miller, and of course Jeffrey Hyatt, as well as Michael Wingle, top 10, top row 5. Ray Rittenauer and Bo Tiffany from New York to Carolina. Your first 6 rows in your top 12, Jacob.
Then Richard Elliott's going to start 13th with Stephen Miles starting in 14th. Garrison Hogan's going to start 15th with Chris Blanchard. About that right there. Won the last one. He's getting in this bad boy right there. He's going to start in the 16th spot. With Stephen Gregory starting in the 17th spot, with James Wagner starting in 18th. Ryan Streckengoss is going to start 19th, and Christopher McCullough going to get him another shot. He will start in the 20th spot. Lucas Slides, 57, Gore-Bacon Download Chevy will start in the 21st spot. And Brian Chew, Mr. Restrictor Plate, rolls off in P22.
Rest of the lineup will find, of course, Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man, Robert Richards, and it's Matthew Garrett, Taylor Peacock, Justin Lumpkin, Ronnie Brown, row 14, top 30. My buddy up from Washington State, Carl Burke of the Northwest, Daniel Lawless, Nathan Brown, Keith Bradley, the Animal, he's back again, Austin Evie, Robert Walton. And then it's going to be, of course, rest of the rundown. We'll find Casey Mink, Shane Madden, Garrett Caswell, Cameron Craighead, Eric Zimmerman, Jonathan Barker, Ballesteros Whitehead, Simple, Maurer, Carter. And that's the lineup. 45 cars ready to go. And I'm sorry, Jacob, I thought they were on the on the front stretch. They're actually on the back straightaway. That'll let us step away real quickly and take a look at our CRN race session details, see if anything's changed from earlier. And no, not really. Everything is still the same. James Wagner's welding race details. Yeah, 75% chance of rain. We haven't seen no rain yet, though, but there is times. I've done iRacing before where we've been at a super speedway and it starts raining, so it can happen. There's that James Wagner's welding race details as well. Remember, no fast repair. Will we see an 11th overtime? We'll find out. By the way, DSR Electric sponsoring qualifier race number 11, the penultimate qualifier of the road to the NASRA 500. Jacob Reed, Wesley Outland, Steve Hopton ready to crank it up as we're green in qualifier DSR Electric number 11. And we're underway. On the back right away, we'll pause very quickly for 10 seconds of network identification on the Community Radio Network for Daytona and the NASRA 500. Field works their way through the tri-oval, down to the line, one lap in. Welcome back to our coverage on the Community Radio Network and on NASRA 360 Racing Network. We simulcast video and radio streaming of this event for the road to the NASRA 500 and the Great American Sim Race. Jacob Reeves, I'm Wesley Outland, Beaglestein, Hopton, Lopez, Hennings. They're the leaders of the back straightaway, Jacob, in the top four side by side.
Yeah, top four actually trying to separate themselves from the rest of the field. Hennings up top, Lopez down on the bottom side, Logan York up top. No, look now, here comes the field. Patton gets up, gets a shot to York on the inside. Jason Maines trying to roll with Jordy Lopez on that inside.
Back to the line, two in. Innings now, the leader. And we've seen it all week long. The outside lane just where the momentum is. Jacob, you got to wonder, did the wind, the virtual wind in the sim, could that been a big problem for the accidents we saw on the back straightaway possibly? That tailwind these cars were fighting.
Yeah, absolutely, it can. I mean, obviously, the wind, even though it's about 12 miles an hour, give or take in that range, is actually, yeah, I think the wind might have had a factor in this one. We got another one going around. Robert Walton in 066 ends up going around. Number of others goes around over in 3 and 4, but yes, Wesley, get tongue-tied. Yes, the wind can have an effect with these cars going at almost 200 miles an hour.
Instant replay presented by Pulse Poppers Fishing Lures. Robert Walton, Daniel Lawless, Nick Sipple, Robert Walton, and more. And there it is, the contact and that beautiful yellow and white machine into Carl Burke. There's my buddy, Carl Burke from Washington State. Nowhere to go for him as he spins down in the grass. That might be the best thing to happen to the Kennewick, Washington driver. And then all the other cars involved as well. And I think Keith Bradley, Jacob the Animal, missed this one this time. How lucky for the man up on the top right there in the yellow and blue car.
Golly, boy, Keith Bradley, used every bit of the racetrack that he possibly could. He missed that one by literally an inch. As you're riding on board right here with Christopher E. Carter, and the number 19 started dead last back there in the field. He's going to try to drive through this. Wow, there you saw Keith Bradley up top, but Carter, good save, good drive went all the way down to the grass. Wesley, I think they're taking my strategy out of this a little bit. Obviously, they've been listening. They've been listening, to what we've been talking about all week. Some of them taking my strategy and taking it all the way down to the grass. Hey, it's paid off for me a couple of times, but sometimes it don't work. But that time it worked out fantastic for Carter. As you see Walton right here, nowhere for him to go, everything. I mean, literally the track just blocked. It worked out well for Bradley, but then after that, everybody just blocked the track, and Robert Walton drives straight into it.
Watch the Sunoco car. On board now with the Sunoco car. Watch this. Look at Bradley. This is Daniel Lawless, by the way. And watch where Keith Bradley, the animal behind them, 2 cars back, the blue and yellow car. Right here. Watch Lawless go around. Not even his fault. He gets tagged from the purple car in the left rear, turns into the other cars, and look at, wow.
My gosh, Keith Bradley.
Keith Bradley was lucky. Watch this. We're going to go on board with the animal. Watch Keith Bradley now. The blue and yellow number 29 from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Watch this. We're going to go in real time.
Oh, this is going to be good right here. I mean, look at this right here. I mean, he just sees it. That's championship instincts right there, Wesley Outland. Obviously, Keith Bradley, a 2-time champion in NASRA, saw that. Saw guys coming down, and usually when guys end up going to the inside, your first reaction is to go to the right side. I'm telling you, he's got caught up in a lot of wrecks here this week. All week, he's got caught up in wrecks 9 ways to Sunday. But that one right there, he got lucky on that one. This may be the race right here where Keith Bradley may have something for some of these guys right there. He got lucky. He may be looking back on this. He may get a transfer spot and look back on that and say, yeah, that incident right there that you just saw, that is what got him into the transfer spot. Who knows? We may be talking about it here shortly.
Thank you for all the comments in the chat box. I found myself earlier this afternoon or this evening before we came on the air and before we even went live to literally go back and look at the last couple of days and look at some of the comments about Jacob and myself. And I'm very humbled, honored. Thank you guys so much. I will tell you, in my 29 years of being a sports broadcaster, first off, thanks, glory be to God, to be able to do this for a living. Virtual reality, it doesn't matter. Secondly, this is the biggest undertaking I have ever done in my iRacing broadcasting career. I've never done anything of this caliber before, as far as a grueling week of, I've done a lot of iRacing broadcasts, obviously. But for something of this caliber, and that's why I've literally tried to sell it, Jacob, for months before we got to this moment, it's an event. It is not a NASRA race. It is an event. And just humbled to be right there with you, man. Thank you guys so much for all the comments, questions, concerns. If you have any, please put them in there. And, we'll take constructive criticism. Don't be a jerk. But, Jacob, man, it's a pleasure that you're in the seat with me, buddy. And Dean, phenomenal guy. I mean, you are looking at a stellar broadcast production that you probably would see from NASCAR, and it's a one-man guy, not 10 people in a NASCAR production truck in Charlotte putting together their racing broadcasts like they normally do. Dean is just great, Jacob, and we just absolutely enjoying this opportunity to bring it to you. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, Wesley, I mean, I'll piggyback off that as well. I mean, this is one of the biggest events of my iRacing broadcasting career. I mean, literally, it is the biggest event of my iRacing broadcasting career. I mean, I have been waiting for this for literally months. And, yes, thank you to each and every one of you out there in the live chat. We love each and every one of you. And, Wesley, like you said, glory be to God, because, without him, we wouldn't have the blessings that we have right now. But I mean, thank you to each and every one of y'all. Hopefully y'all are enjoying it here in Daytona.
CSR Electric Qualifier 11, back to green. Hennings on the whole shot. He'll get the restart. He'll climb up that 31 degrees of banking, and York will follow. Miller, Patton down low. Lopez is there also. To the inside with a push, and York's going to go to the lead as they work off two. And there's that tandem. We're watching it all week long happen.
Yeah, we've literally watched it all week long, and Jordy Lopez kind of got the short end of the stick on it, kind of wanted to go, and going top to bottom, made the move, thought twice about it, jumps back up top. Jordy Lopez was not lifting for anybody, son. He couldn't lift even if he wanted to. Jason Maines on his back bumper shoves him going through 3 and 4. Jordy Lopez to the lead at Daytona.
What a save as well as they throw a block on one another. Now you can't block them all from the top to the bottom. And now we're 3 wide for the lead. York up high. Pushed by Patton. And I don't think it's General Patton either. Give him a shove. York better watch out because Patton will sneak out and go to the lead. Now we got Maines and Henning side by side. They're now tandem drafting the backstretch also to 3.
And Nathan's racing, and Blanchard says he loves the event, but he loves the chaos. I think you might have saw a little bit of chaos right there with Logan York up there trying to go with Jordy Lopez. That got very, very chaotic, and Jordy Lopez ended up getting literally shot to the middle. He's going all the way back to around the 10th spot, so he has got some work to do if he wants to jump back up here and get it going. Logan York, very aggressive blocking here in qualifier 10. Top to bottom, once again down in front of Maines. Maines didn't lift. Actually, that's Stephen Miles. He'll go to the lead.
Qualifier 11, by the way. Please don't put us in rewind. Miles now leading Tiffany right there on the back door. And caution.
There's a rewind.
Another Serve Pro caution. Trouble as we've got a car up against the wall. Nate Maurer, our buddy from Pennsylvania, the 971. Nate Maurer putting us under another Serve Pro caution. The only good news is it's not a multi-car pileup. It's a single-car incident. Nate Maurer.
Yeah, Wesley, I think you can actually put the blame on me. I put us in rewind and went all the way back. Basically, to qualifier team. We got caution, so yeah. Yeah, we got a bunch of them right here. Nate Maurer ends up going around, a bunch of them piling up on the back street.
I think it's Casey Mink out of Lenoir, South North Carolina. The Mink Racing Melliello, number 69. Stephen Gregory on the inside. Shot to the 44. Up the racetrack again into the fence. That's Stephen Thomas from Elkview, West Virginia. Nowhere to go for him. Or is that Jonathan Barker, actually?
Good possibility. It could be Jonathan Barker, as you see right here. Casey Mink right here. This is unfortunate right here as Gregory just tried to stay on his back bumper. Slides up a little bit. That happens here in these cars. With these next-gen cars getting off 2, you get a little bit tight, you can get a little bit loose. And that's exactly what it looked like right there with Gregory. Just gets a little bit tight, comes up, but tried to stay attached. But he didn't lift. He couldn't lift. He had somebody on his back door as well. Slides up a little bit, gets into Mink, sends him around. And then after that, everybody's just trying to survive once again.
Somebody said York is a sharp weapon. Watch this angle now. Let's see another replay. Casey Mink into the 44 of Barker. Maurer looked like he was going to be okay to get away with it. Then Mink got to the right rear, hooks the 971, and then, oh boy, Barker just penny for your thoughts, Chief.
Yeah, penny for your thoughts. And I got a feeling he's got some thoughts on that one. Let's see, he's got some thoughts.
Serve Pro caution number 2. Quick break. A quick break. 10 in, 20 to go. DSR Electric penultimate qualifying race in the road to the NASRA 500. The Great American Sim Race continues with their qualifier when we come back from Daytona.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
By the way, Nate Maurer, part of that caution was the 200th entry in this event. He was actually entry number 198. And by the way, Stephen Thomas, yes, buddy, I have an entry list in front of me, and I see that there are multiple 44s and realize that that was not you in the 44, but the other 044, Jonathan Barker from San Antonio, Texas. Jacob Reeves, Wesley Outland, under 20 to go in qualifying race number 11. It is presented by DSR Electric. And it all culminates to Saturday. I told you, Jacob, it'd get here before we knew it, man. It's flew by, you know? Like, I can't believe we've already gone through 4 nights.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I mean, this week has literally flown by. I didn't think it was going to go by as fast as it has. But, hey, when you work 10 hours, you know, during the day, and then you come home, and then you come home and watch 3 really fast qualifying races each night. Yeah, the week flies by very, very fast, and Saturday is rapidly approaching for that NASRA 500.
Well, with having basketball for radio Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then calling these events and staying up till close to after midnight, it was good to have a day of rest and not have to come on the air and do anything work-related until tonight's event. So I feel well-rested, much better than yesterday for sure. We're back to green. Qualifying race number 11, McCullough now. Here's Christopher McCullough. There's another one of those Georgia boys. He's going after Lopez and Miles. Somebody said York is a sharp weapon. Keep an eye on that man in the 91. He's right there behind him as they work the back stretch with a push by Patton again.
We'll see what kind of happens right here as now Lopez is going to shoot all the way to the front. McCullough is going to be lined right up on his back door. They've actually separated themselves from Logan York. We'll see what the sharp weapon does right here. Will he stay with him? Will he try to go a different route? Nope, he's going to stay right there with him. Big shove right there through the tri-oval. Right behind him, Matt Patton's going to stay right there locked on to him as well. 124, Stephen Miles. And on the inside, Stephen Trombley got the one-on-one to Jason Mays behind him. Logan York once again making moves in that 91. Whoa, baby, I'm telling you, he's making moves. He wants to win this duel.
And the sharp weapon has moved back to the lead. Trombley now gives him a bump. He shot him up the track as York now goes up the hill. And another caution out. Trouble, big crash. Oh, Peacock and others crashing hard into the wall. Still wrecking Carl Burke, Stephen Gregory, and more. Another massive pileup at the bottom of turn 3 and 4. Cars are littered. It looks like a junkyard in the third turn.
Yeah, it
Another
really does.
caution, and we get ready for a Pulse Popper instant replay. Jake, I'm sorry about that. Stepping on you.
Nah, you good, buddy. And, and obviously, I went and rewind a while ago, and then I actually went and fast forward talking about the duels. I thought this was a duel for some reason. I don't have a clue why, but there you see it right there. There was contact made right there on that inside lane that kind of got knocked around and ended up sending drivers up into other drivers. And one of those drivers, I believe, was Robbie Richards in the 48. There you see the contact. There you see the chaos and everything else right there going into 3. Whoa, that's an ARCA brake right there.
Wow.
That, I was talking about ARCA brakes. That's ARCA brake.
And Carl Burke upside down. Watch this again. We have multiple angles of it from our one-man production monster. That is Finkelstein Hopkins from Australia. Watch this. Robert Richards. Elliott piles into Richards and more. Look at this. Let's find Kennebec, Washington driver, 53, Carl Burke. He actually got up and over the 53 car. Carl Burke caught up in the accident. Right now he's in 41st. Let's watch his replay. Look at this. By the way, we're halfway home. 15 down, 15 to go, and the caution show continues in the qualifiers. Take a listen. Wow.
Wesley, I know Carl Burke's your buddy on that one, but that's another ARCA braking right there. I mean, he just sends it in there. I mean, and he's back here in this second pack. And, you know, you can see all the smoke and everything else when you get in the corners. You know, I talked about being real hard to see. There you see it right there. It hits 1, 2, and then piles straight in. Finally locked up the front brakes. But, you know, I talked about it, you know, Wesley, you know, as well. He is up on his roof. But, you know, I talked about this before. You know, it's hard to see through some of these other cars, you know, when you see stuff going on and everything. Well, the thing about it is when you're back here in the second pack, you see smoke, you see cars and everything else. There you see Eric Zimmerman. He was trying to lock it down, and Burke actually saved him. Might have saved him. Well, he saved him enough because he would have been right there smack dab in the middle of that pile up. It actually worked out pretty good for Eric Zimmerman right there because it would have been a lot worse for him. But there you see Robbie Richards getting right rear hooked off a bad bump draft gone wrong and half the field piling up in it once again.
Watch it from another angle. Hey, by the way, you see that piece of pavement right in the middle of turn number 3 going up the banking? That is a mainstay memory right there where you see it. That is a mainstay memory when Juan Pablo Montoya on a Monday night in 2012 crashed into the jet dryer under caution. Remember that night? Dave Blaney was up in front driving for Tommy Baldwin. Was hopefully going to win the race. But it was all said and done. I think it was Matt Kenseth that ended up winning the race when it was finished. But that was the race on a Monday night. Right there, that strip of pavement. You see it?
Yes, sir.
On that night, that was the night that the race got canceled or postponed because of weather on Sunday. And they ran on a Monday primetime NASCAR race. Here's a look at it again. Look at my buddy look at all these guys flying through the air. My goodness. But yeah, that's that strip of pavement in the turn 3 is from the memory of Juan Pablo Montoya crashing into the jet dryer. Yeah, I think does he do Formula 1 or helps out with Formula 1?
Yes.
Yeah, he said NASCAR, then he left. I think he's done some IndyCar, but yeah, that Monday night, primetime Monday on Fox. When Pablo Montoya crashed into the jet dryer. And what was the element to save the racetrack and fix it to continue racing, Jacob? Tide. Tide. The same thing you use to wash your clothes. Tide is what saved the day to keep that track from burning up. The pavement from of course, the fuel and that hit. Tristan Bruce says, fun fact, Tommy Baldwin is my uncle. How about that? Called many of his races. Luke Baldwin as well, the modified young man. Believe he's going to move into the Cars Tour, I believe, this year as well. So, no, I'm sorry. That's Carson Lofton. All right, let's see what happens as we get ready for a restart. 13 laps to go. Nathan, I think we had somebody flip last night. So I think the flip count right now, too. Am I right, Jake? 2 or 3?
Honestly, I think it's about 10 at this point. Honestly, as far as drivers goes. But Wesley, real quick, you was talking about, obviously, the 2012 Daytona 500. Believe it or not, that was the same race that Brad Keselowski actually took that picture and put it on Twitter, which is now X, and made it very famous. And then that's when literally Twitter kind of blew up within NASCAR. So that was that exact same race. It was also the exact same race where I think Dale Jr. and somebody else was racing towards a Porta-John as well. I believe that was the same one. There was a lot of historic deals out of that 2012 Daytona 500.
There was. Car down below the bottom of the racetrack in 2 as they come back to green. 13 laps to go in DSR Electric Qualifier number 11. And the man that leads the way, the sharp weapon as they call him, York, up in front. Top 3 on the outside, staying in line. They work off the 4, back to the line, to the tribal, 12 remaining now.
And we'll see kind of what happens right here. See if Christopher McCullough ends up trying to jump out of line. I wouldn't at this point. If I was Christopher McCullough, I'd just be tickled to death to be riding right behind the sharp weapon of Logan York and Jordy Lopez. Just ride right behind them and just see what you get out of it. It's right behind them. Matthew Patton still sitting in that 4th spot. James Wagner up there in 5th. Nothing really formulating on this inside lane. Nobody going down the inside lane. The whole outside lane, they're lined up so bad, they're actually stacking up so hard, Wesley. Guys are bumping into one another. And now you're going to see a little bit of inside lane as now we got another caution.
Another caution as we have a pile up in turn 3 and 4. There it is, starting to clear up a little bit as the wad of traffic tries to get around the 94 machine. And that is Eric Zimmerman. Maybe a couple of other cars got caught up in it, but Eric Zimmerman, the only car that's a memory, staying in stalemate off the corner. Watch the replay here. Instant replay presented by Pulse Poppers, Fishing Lures, and the 76 into the 94. Oh, yeah, he sent him around.
Yeah,
that's Ronnie Brown.
Big time. Wow.
Ronnie Brown into Zimmerman. Another look at it. Ronnie Brown, by the way, from Port Royal, Pennsylvania. I'm looking forward to announcing the race at Port Royal later on in the year. There's the shot there from Brown, and Eric Zimmerman nowhere to go as he spins. Just missed one of the other cars. Everyone else on the binders to miss him. And another caution. Driver of the course of the BP Racing for Autism Buddy Project entry from Frederick, Maryland. Eric Zimmerman. And again, 4th caution. 10 laps to go. Could we see the 11th overtime? Find out. We're back with more. Stay with us at Daytona. It's not over yet.
For Murph's Magical Creations, home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you. Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Back here at Daytona, and we continue on with the qualifier race number 11. 1 to go indication being given. It'll be 8 laps to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone. Yeah, Nathan, I don't mean to argue with you, buddy, but I've called all these races, and every race has went to overtime. Now, they might have not crashed. They might not have crashed whenever they came to an overtime finish like the others have had, but we have had every race go to overtime. 9 to go, but it'll be 8 to go when they come back for the restart. It is York, the man they're calling the sharp weapon in the chat, leading the way in his Chevrolet. Lopez second, McCullough third. That's the way it is. And the wind speed has dropped a little bit. Well, I spoke too soon. Now it's back up to 11 miles an hour. Dropped down to 8. Now it's up to 12. It's like, yeah. My God. Jacob, what are these guys thinking right now as they get it in line here, ready to go for a restart?
Well, honestly, they're thinking just go green. At this point, just go green. Let's be able to get to the end of this bad boy. And folks, if you haven't noticed yet, obviously, we see a lot of crazy names and everything else, but Jordy Lopez, right there on that 189 on that outside lane, you look back at the history books and everything, yes, sir, Jordy Lopez is a NASCAR Coke Series driver. So that is pretty cool. Drove the number 90 last season for BS Plus Competition Esports. So Jordy Lopez, he's trying to see if he can make it to the duels on Saturday and get in the NASRA 500.
8 laps to go. Here they come to the line. Back to green. York with a great launch on the restart. It is Lopez. It is Patton on the outside. All these cars, single file. And how about an attaboy to Stephen Gregory, Jacob, and Keith Bradley up in the top 5 off 2. And we're wrecking. You just saw a glimpse of them turn into the safer barrier, and they're crashing again. You saw the debris flying.
Another one.
It is, man, oh, man. The 76, the 044, some of those cars pulling away there. Man, oh, man.
Yeah, I hate to see that right there. See this right here, riding on board with the 220.
Ronnie Brown and Jonathan Parker. And Chris Cinnamon to the bottom of the racetrack again as well. Holy cow. That's where they got collected. It started with our buddy Chris Cinnamon, the Spice Man. Boy, this will be fun. Hold on for your ride. Put your arm trays and seat belts in their upright position.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's Dukes of Hazzard there right there.
Bam. You usually got to play double for that kind of action, or he got hit twice. I don't know. My goodness.
You did not just go there.
I did.
You went there. You went there.
I did. I'm sorry. He just got hit from the front and the back. Look at this. Out of nowhere. Chris Cinnamon. Look at the hang time, dude. We didn't put a hang time clock on how.
Oh, my gosh.
This. He got hit from the front, got hit from the back. Oh,
I'm over here crying now. Golly. Oh, Lord.
If I get in trouble, it's my fault. We're in this together, Jacob, but I'll take the blame. It just kind of slipped out. I'm sorry. But he did get hit from both angles, It was either that or use the other word I used at Pocono, remember? Now, I'm not going to say that.
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. We'll end up having everybody hide their kids on that one. But anyway,
they were trying to make T-shirts after that. They made T-shirts and memes after that comment.
They were trying to, and actually, well, believe it or not, I was actually one of them that was trying to get them to make the T-shirts. Believe it or not, Wes Allen, I was one of those guys.
Dare you? I thought we were friends.
I honestly, I thought it was great entertainment. Honestly, I mean, Brandon Buckingham might not like that too much, but I was one of them.
As long as I get the royalties for it, right? Because I get the credit for being the guy that said it. Oh, you got quiet all of a sudden.
No, by all means. I mean, you would get the royalties out of it, obviously. I mean, but I think it would sell like hotcakes, that T-shirt, folks. If you haven't, if you ain't got a clue about it, just go back about 2 seasons on the DSR Electric Truck Series on the NASRA 360 Race Network. Go back to Pocono at the race where I think it was Hendrickson that ended up getting wrecked right there after the caution. That's what we're talking about. You'll be able to see it. It's in the NASRA archives.
Yeah. And you can find it in the you can also there you go. Escape from, what does it say? Torkin? Escape from Torkin. And there's our buddy, the Toyota, the Indy Race Parts entry of the animal, Keith Bradley. James Wagner having a good race tonight as well. He's sitting there in 7th. Oh boy. Logan Detweiler, I've called so many friggin' races. If I missed one, forget about it, dude. I mean, why are we going back in history? Seriously. So let me correct to everybody, to our massive fan, Logan Detweiler, that's going back fact-checking behind me. We've had 9 of 11 races that have gone to overtime. Logan, you were on my number 1A list. Now you're starting to tick me off a little bit, brother.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting exhausted here.
Dang, key it up.
There had to have been a caution, though. Don't make me go back and check it again, though, Jacob. There was a caution in the 4th one. There was a wreck coming off of 4 in the 4th qualifier race. I'll go back and check it myself, but I'm not doing it right now.
Keep the sound bite, Dane.
Talking about old spoiled Mike. We got beef. You dang right we do. Cue it up.
Cue it up, Dane.
We got beef. Me and Logan. Logan, don't make me go to Ohio. I'm going to stick my buddy Nathan on you. Let's go back to a restart here. Be 4 laps to go. It'll be 10 miles remaining. Yeah, exactly. All right, Jacob. So, to clarify, I guess, since we got fact checkers. God almighty, I can't believe the dang iRacing broadcast has fact checkers. 9 of the 11 races have gone to overtime. That's still too damn much. Part of my language. I did say D word, Brady. I'm sorry.
Not Dane. Not Dane.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I will agree with you, Wesley. It is too many. I mean, honestly, it really is. And I talked about it the other night, of just everybody trying to send it, everybody trying to get what they can get, and everybody trying to get in those top 3 spots, and that's what's getting them into the or to have a shot to go to Saturday. But at the same time, you got to have a little bit of I guess you could say sportsmanship. I guess just a little bit out of it. I mean, you can't just go up here and start wrecking people, just for the heck of it. But here we go, restart.
4 remaining. Back to green with 10 miles left in qualifier race 11. York up high. He's got Lopez in tow, so is Gregory. Down to the inside, it's Patton.
We'll see what Patton does right here. Christopher McCullough right on his back door up top. Keith Bradley, he's going to latch on with Gregory. Will he try to make the move, or will he just try to lay in the weeds as the animal usually does and lay in the weeds and wait for the right time to pounce? York still got the lead. Lopez, whoa, Miles jumps down, makes it 3 wide, almost door bangs with Matt Patton, and that's going to cost him. He's going to go all the way to the back.
Yeah, the General Patton now down to the inside with a push. Wagner now up on the outside lane. 3 to go. Top 5, 6 cars. Single file. Maines and Patton door to door. And they're going around. Wagner into Maines, into Lyons, into Reed and others. And we're crashing again with 3 to go. We will go to overtime, I promise you.
It'll be 10 out of 11 for the overtime now.
Yeah, don't make me fat check behind you there, Jacob. Yes, you're right.
I'll take your word for it.
Oh, my goodness, dude. I'm exhausted with these, I'm telling you.
Oh, my God.
This afternoon, I love the format, but I'm exhausted with these qualifying races for 4 nights in a row. But we have to do it to determine the lineup for tomorrow, but I'm ready for a new format. By the way, tomorrow night will be the qualifying, last chance qualifiers, the hooligan races, and they will be 40 laps each, 100 miles with the chance of overtime and no fast repair, and the top 17 from the first 2 races and the top 16 from the third last chance qualifier are all that transfer. That's it. No more buybacks. No more penny for your thoughts. Come back. I want to reset. Hit a button. Can I start over again? No. If you don't make it in to the top 17 or 16 in the third one of those 3 qualifying races, and your weekend is done in the road to the NASRA 500.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, obviously, for a lot of guys and some of these guys that you see getting caught up in these wrecks. You saw Nate Maurer right there in the 971 end up going up into the wall. A couple of these drivers that it's just bad luck. Is there you see, this is where it all started. James Wagner with Jason Maines. Wagner gets up into the fence just a little bit, bounces back off the wall, comes right down in front of Maines, and then after that, it's chaos once again. But back to that point of what I was getting at right there is you actually see him riding on top of other cars. But back to my point, what I was getting at, Wesley, you see other guys, like Bo Tiffany. He has had so many shots trying to get into this bad boy. You see Nate Maurer, he's had a bunch of shots trying to get into this bad boy as well. A lot of drivers, even Jason Maines has had numerous shots trying to get into this bad boy. And the bad part about it is that they're good drivers. They're fast drivers. But the problem is they just keep getting caught up in these accidents that has absolutely nothing to do with them. And that's the part where you got it. Where you sit there and you're really frustrated about it. If it was just a little bit of an accident and they screwed up, well, that's one thing. But when it seems like it's every single time you get in a race and you get caught up in somebody else's mess, that's when you end up having beef, honestly, Wesley.
Beef. It's what's for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're thankful that you are all joining us. We're all cutting up. We're all having fun. Watching some more angles of the accident, man. What a tough break there. Look at that, Maurer, and wow.
My gosh. You just hate to see it for some of these guys, honestly, Wesley.
That's right.
I race against some of these guys, throughout the week, and I feel their pain on all that, and obviously, sentimental favorite, with me, was with the NASRA guys, but it does break my heart to see them just get caught up in all this mess.
By the way, I went back and Daniel, that was the race that Daniel Everhart had won in that qualifier number 4 on Tuesday. And that was a pretty good one. And we are now in overtime. Remember, drivers have to take the white flag. If not, Look at this on the outside. Look at York. York and Bradley. Patton alongside, and we're single file. Here comes the animal, Jacob. We told you to watch him.
Yeah, honestly, the animal Keith Bradley laying in the weeds, waiting for something to pop off, and it may end up paying off for him. York got the lead. Bradley, I got a feeling he's going to latch right on the back bumper, and he ain't going nowhere. As Patton tried to shove him as well, that's the front three trying to transfer coming to the white.
Overtime to the white flag here in qualifying race 11. 1 to go. The West Texas Pepper Traders white flag. Up in front, it is the sharp weapon of York. As they said, keep an eye on York. Bradley right there in tow. Patton will follow. I've been calling him the General. General Patton right there. Top 3 cars, 5, 6 cars, single file back straightaway.
And York still got the lead. Bradley is still second. Patton sitting third. Gregory trying to slide back, maybe get a run. They're wrecking behind them, but front three are trying to get away. Stephen Miles trying to get one last-ditch effort. I don't think it's going to be enough. Front three that you see, I think they're going to the transfer.
Keith Bradley pulling out of line, got into York. Bradley got loose. He got into York, but York holds him off. York and Bradley side by side. There was contact, but Logan York gets it done. The sharp weapon wins DSR Qualifier 11.
Wow. How about that for the sharp weapon of Logan York? Started up front, made a lot of crazy moves, honestly, Wesley, as we're all seeing out there. John Ward out there, very sharp. And, I mean, he done what he had to do to make sure that 91 stayed up there at the front. Can't fault him for it. He didn't cause any accidents or nothing. But here you see the finish. Keith Bradley, he sees Stephen Miles is way back there. He took a shot. York even tried to block him. For what reason, I'm not 100% sure. But, I mean, hey, they're going for the win. I guess they knew, hey, you know what, we're probably going to transfer anyway. Just go ahead and let's race it out and give something for the fans. And Bradley tried to jump down to the inside. It just didn't pay off for him. York ends up putting on the block, and he ends up getting the win.
By the way, Cody Detweiler, to answer your question about how many Ohio drivers are represented on the entry list, there's about 5 for the Buckeye State. Florida Cabinet Distributors, Victory Lane. Oh boy, here's your results. Logan York gets it done. He wins over Matthew Patton. Keith Bradley will finish in second. How about this? All 3 drivers have nicknames for you and me. The Sharp Weapon, General Patton, the Animal Keith Bradley. We'll talk to him next. Stephen Miles, Miller, Gregory, Lopez, McCullough, Craighead, Sipple, Evie, Choose, Lyons, Andrew. They can go into another race if they want. However, with that finish, they can go into the last chance qualifier tomorrow. Oh, let's see here. Jeffrey Hyatt, Taylor Peacock, bad race for him. Daniel Lawless, Brian Hennings, the pole man, finishes 18th. Right there, Jacob.
Then Jonathan Barker's going to end up finishing 19th, when Garrett Caswell will finish in 20th. Garrison Hogan's going to be 21st, with Ray Rettenauer will finish in the 22nd spot. Nathan Brown's going to get 23rd. Casey Minky will finish 24th. Bo Tiffany will finish 25th, with Shane Madden 26th. James Wagner's going to be 27th. Richard Elliott be 28th. Matt Garrett, 29th, and Jason D. Baines rounds out the top 30.
Rest of the finishing order will find Stephen Trombley, Michael Wingo, Nate Maurer, Ryan Schreckengost, Ronnie Brown, Chris Cinnamon. What a tough break for the Spice Man, our buddy out of Canada, eh? Eric Zimmerman will finish 37th. He had a tough race. Christopher Corner as well. Justin Lumpkin, Robert Richards, top 40. Carl Berg, Drew Ballesteros, Luke Whitehead, Robert Walton, Chris Blanchard. The way they finished at the end of it with White and Thiss as well. Coming up, CRN post-race interviews. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification as we get them in the box here after tonight's race from Daytona, qualifier number 11. Stay with us. All right, I don't know what the heck that soundbite was about. Please make sure you cut that stuff off before we put you in the chat box. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to Victory Lane and find Logan York, the sharp weapon. Logan, congratulations. Found the right time. Got pushed out of line, but you held your line. Little bump there from Keith Bradley. Patton right there in the hunt, but when it's said and done, you get your qualifier, a number 11 win in overtime. Congratulations, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, elaborate with us. What's your take on what happened? Getting it done, winning.
Okay. Yeah, I was working with Matthew Patton that race, and Jory Lopez was messaging me too, and we were kind of working it out at middle of the race, just kind of coordinating, staying up front. Whenever that bottom got line at the beginning of run at the beginning of the race, I tried to go down and stop their run and then come up, but I kind of messed it up the first time. But I learned from that, and then at the end, I thought that he was trying to make a move on me. Apparently, he was just hot. I'm sure he was, but I almost ended my own race like a dunce. So fortunately, I was able to hang on to it and make the duel.
And Logan, we've seen it out there in the live chat. A lot of people have been calling you the sharp weapon. That's what we've been seeing. Could you elaborate why some of them's been calling you the sharp weapon?
Yeah, nobody calls me that. It's just John Ward. He's been weird in the chat. So if you want to call him out on that, I appreciate it. No one calls me that. But yeah, I guess it's just I know when to be aggressive, and I guess when I do make moves, usually it's lethal. So I guess that's sharp weapon. I don't know, I'm pulling the straws there.
No, I won't call you that no more. I promise.
I appreciate it, Wes. Thank you very much. What's your nickname?
Westman, I guess, Logan. I guess. I thought your nickname was Sharp Weapon. That's why I was calling you that. But if not, I'm sorry. I was not meaning to offend you.
Oh, no, it didn't offend me, man. John Ward, man, he knows what it is. John Ward will see this, and I'm sure he's laughing right now.
He probably is. John is a joker for sure. He's probably getting a big kick out of it. Man, before we let you go, what is blade ball? What is that? What's blade ball?
Oh, blade ball. Yes, blade ball is a game in which you hit a ball and it gets faster every time you hit it, and the last person to die wins. Yep, it's pretty fun.
The last person to die wins. I think I'll pass.
No, you're hitting a ball with swords. Yeah, not really like dodgeball.
Well, buddy, thanks for your time, man. If you do have any sponsors, go ahead and thank them right now, buddy, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. See you Saturday morning.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for broadcasting. I'm not good enough for sponsors, unless someone else thinks if anyone's watching thinks I am, I appreciate it.
No.
Yeah, let's see. I want to thank the chat for keeping the numbers up on the stream. I want to thank all the competitors for making it a fun race.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone that puts these races on, and that's it.
There you go. Logan York will finish in the number 2 position, or in the number 1 position. We'll talk to the runner-up here. There's the shot. York was sideways, baby. He was dirt tracking it into the safer barrier. He would not be denied, though. I think Patton gave him that little push there, a little help to get him across the line over the animal, Keith Bradley. Speaking of the Chris Bradley, Keith Bradley, the animal, Keith from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. We watched the replay one more time. The push, the bump out of line, the shove. You tried, Keith. You tried all you could, buddy, but you'll settle for second. But you're in the duels for Saturday. Is that what you wanted?
I just wanted to finish. If anybody's been watching has noticed that I've been wrecked in every single race since last night. I was getting fed up with it. Thanks to Broadfoot for paying the entry tonight. It paid off. And like I told Logan, I wasn't even trying to make a move. I was on the fringe of blowing up. So I just wanted to finish. That's all I wanted to do.
You just wanted to get the damn checkered flag, right, Keith?
Yeah, I was over
all right?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Jacob, we know the animal very well.
Oh, yes. Yes, absolutely. We know the animal very well, and obviously he speaks his mind, which is why we love the animal, Keith Bradley. But, Keith, you talked about it. You just wanted to finish. You said it. You said it yourself. You were just so fed up with it. If you wouldn't have made it out of this one right here, 2 questions actually on this, just real quick. If you wouldn't have made it in this one, was you going to run the 12th one? And second, you've been around NASRA for quite some time. What's this mean right here? This whole event for the NASRA 500 mean to you?
I more than likely probably would have. I already had it paid just in case, and man, it means a lot. NASRA's grown a ton. Wesley's been around since the start of it all, and man, it's awesome. It's awesome to put the NASRA guys into the duels in hopes to get to the show. It means a lot.
Making me feel old. Keith, though, hey, what's it going to take to survive this race on Saturday, dude? What would it mean to you with all the things you've done in NASRA, 2-time champion, what would it mean to win the NASRA 500 on Saturday afternoon?
Well, definitely got to stay away from the squirrels because you typically end up getting your nuts cracked at some point, and my nuts have been cracked a lot over the last 2 days, and it's very painful, and I was over it. like through the last race, we're all in a transfer spot, and we're just like, here, let's see how far we can take head off shoulders and just say screw it.
You do realize they're all squirrels trying to get a nut like you are too, though, right, Keith?
I mean, I'm just the better squirrel.
Oh, dude.
No, it's all fun now.
Go ahead and thank your sponsors, man. Keith, we'll see you Saturday morning. Or are you going to race again tonight? Are you going to run the other one?
They will not let me because I'm in the duels, which is fine. That's fine by me because I'd probably get wrecked or get caught up in some BS, which is cool. I don't have to worry about it. But no, I just think Indy Race Parts, JRB Designs, Taylor Peacock and Stephen Gregory and all them guys, and Chris Blanchard and Broadfoot for paying the entry. Like I said, I wasn't looking forward to it. I wasn't wanting to do it. And a big shout out to Brady and Cody and Justin, all the admins, and you guys for busting your tail.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The Animal, Keith Bradley from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. He'll finish in the number 2 position, and he's finally in the race. That's what he said. He said he wanted to be in it. Let's go down to 3rd place. He finished his 2nd. What are you talking about? What are you doing to me? No, he did finish 3rd. Wait a minute. It changed at the line. Holy. Okay. Wow. Yes, it did. My apologies. So let's talk now to the guy that I was calling General Patton, Matthew Patton. Matthew, you will finish 2nd, dude. What a push there to get around him because it didn't look like you were going to get it. But we're looking at this last lap, and you were taking what's going through your mind this whole race there at the finish, buddy.
Yeah, so right about here, I was thinking I just got to stay at the top because the top is dominant the whole race. I noticed that. And I was working with Logan real well the whole entire race. Me and him were working pretty good together. So I was just thinking if I stay here, I'm good. Transfer into the duel. I didn't see any runs out back. And at the line, I saw they got squirrely, so I just jumped up in front of Logan. I guess I grabbed 2nd there. And it was a great race. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Jacob, it happened so fast. Watch this as they're going to the back straightaway here, and then working into turn number 3. I'm trying to get rid of the noise so we can actually be able to hear him because he's hard to hear. But watch this setup here, Jacob, as we watch him pull out a line. And, I mean, we could have had him crash, but they didn't do that. Just good hard racing amongst them.
Yeah, I mean, really, they done a fantastic job. Matt, I mean, what's it going to take there? You see that right there? Keith just tried to jump out of the way right there. Obviously, trying not to blow up, but Matt, what's it going to take? But what's it going to take? Is it going to take luck? Is it going to take skill? What's it going to take to be able to get through the duels come Saturday morning and be able to make the NASRA 500?
That's the word right there, luck. A lot of it. You're going to need a lot of luck to get through this race. But yeah, that paint scheme I'm running was made by Heath Job. I didn't get to run it for the PGR 500, but I'm glad I got to put it on display here.
Now, I called York the sharp weapon. I guess he didn't like that. Or do you like General Patton? Do you like that nickname, or is it just too
I actually love it. I love it
you
because
love it?
I think I'm related to the guy. So,
wow, there you go. There you go. Family affair then. Well, buddy, before we let you go, thank your sponsors. Congratulations to you. We'll see you on Saturday morning.
I just want to thank Heath Joe for that awesome paint scheme you put up for me. That's it. Thank you, guys. Y'all do great.
Beautiful looking race car, no doubt about it. Matthew Patton, ladies and gentlemen, of the 103 machine. He will finish 3rd. By the way, DSR Electric was the sponsor of Qualifier number 11. And we come back. There is one more to go. Yes, sir. The Dirty Dozen, the final, the 12th qualifier, presented by Blanchard's Towing. This next. Stay with us.
The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, and we are, can you set, I need to say, there we go. Thank you, boss. Welcome back to Daytona. We're getting ready for the 12th and final qualifier here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Jacob, we've been going at it since Monday night, and finally the preliminaries at the end of the rainbow here at the end of this last 30-lapper, and then we prepare for the last chance qualifiers tomorrow, buddy. How you feeling?
I'm give out. Honestly, Wesley, I'm give out.
Like everything's on replay over and over again. That's why I lost track of what happened and what went on and what happened. And it's just, boy, whoever makes it in this race from the qualifiers, they darn sure deserved it, because there was a lot of drivers, Jacob, that did not quit. That undying spirit to still get back in. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off, try it again. And no, I'm not a Beyonce fan, but I will tell you this, though. Those lyrics can ring true for what these guys have done tonight, for sure. And whatever happens here in this final 30-lapper, will be a good one for sure, no doubt. The final three, we'll see what happens. And yes, some of these guys are, again, trying to roll back through it again.
Well, I didn't know that was Beyonce lyrics. I didn't know that, Wesley.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Beyonce.
I don't know either. How I could be wrong. I don't care. Somebody fact check me. Brian Hiddings and Jason Maines are on the front row as we give you that Florida Cabinet Distributors starting grid for the final qualifier, race number 12. Buzzy Mongold and Garrison Hogan making up row number 2. Michael Sturgill, Sean Corbett on row 3. Ryan Andrews and Ray Rittenauer the second on row number 4. Jason Dinsmore, and Ronnie Foster, your top 10. James Wagner back in the saddle again in North Carolina's Shane Trotter, he'll start 12th in that one car.
Matthew Montgomery's going to start in the 13th spot with J.D. Larson trying to get up there. Cole Larson's already locked in. His son, J.D. Daddy trying to see if he can get in. He's going to start in the 14th spot. Well, Hunt Williamson, big man, or one of the big men, I should say, here at NASRA, he's going to start 15th. But Jeffrey Hyatt will start in the 16th spot. Stephen Miles is going to start 17th. Daniel Lawless is going to start 18th. John Darnell III going to get him one more shot at it. He's in the LCQs, but he's going to try to go with the duels. He'll start 19th, and the 57 of Lucas Lyons will start in the 20th spot. Yes, my car, Lucas Lyons, will start 20th. Jonathan Barker and Ryan Schreckengoss make up the top 22.
By the way, none of y'all need to fact check behind me. I just did it my darn self. It's Aaliyah who sang those songs and those lyrics, but I don't care. Ronnie Brown, Tristan Bruce on row number 13. Casey Mink, Bo Tiffany. Row number 14 will find Larry McDonald and Dustin Shepard. Ed Osborne, Michael Wingo, your top 30. Shane Madden, Stephen Gregory on row 16. Taylor Peacock, Clint Mata, row 17 there, Jacob.
Looks like Richard Elliott, Tyler Daniels will be in this one, as well as Robbie Richards. Looks like that's the only drivers that I see as far as the field goes. So very, very short field right here. Obviously pretty buff. Cody Knott, the race director, is here for the final qualifier of the week to try to get into the duels for Saturday for the NASRA 500.
All right. Logan, we're good, buddy. It's been a long week. And I can't remember. I know Daniel Eberhardt won the 4th race. I know he's one of those NASCAR guys. I thought they were all cautions and overtimes. But I guess 1 out of 11 or 1 out of 10 ain't bad. So props to Daniel Eberhardt in the field of qualifier race number 4 that actually was able to go the complete distance. They still had cautions, though. All right, let's take a look at the CRN session details and see what happens here in race number 12. Look at it real quickly. Here it is, Community Radio Network. And we're still got a chance of rain. It hasn't happened yet. 74 degrees, so 7 mile an hour. The wind's gone down a little bit. I want to get foggy and rainy. I want it to happen. I've done it before. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Last race, Wesley, I wouldn't be surprised for it. Have a couple of raindrops out here and love slide.
Logan Parker is rooting on Corbett. Says, Corbett, you need one. You need one. Dang it. All right. Here's a look at all the details. After we finish up tonight, we move into the last chance qualifiers. Tomorrow, there will be 300 lappers at 40 laps each. Top 17 of the first 2, top 16 of the third transfer to the duels. And then we move into the duels and the race on Saturday. It has flew by. So glad you've been with us all week long as we get ready to put a tip of the bow on the qualifying race. Cool.
Oh, boy.
LCQ means last chance qualifier, not the other word, man. Come on. What's wrong with you, Dean?
Dean, come on now.
Ready to come to the green flag. Last chance qualifier, as I call the hooligan races. Well, they don't have any Formula One because they don't have enough cars to force a last chance qualifier. Thank you. But when do they start? Up to 24, I think? 21, 22? Yeah, I mean, come on.
Dean would know.
20 of the best in the world. By the way, Motorsports Mania Network coverage of NASCAR, IndyCar, and Formula One. Go to YouTube, hit Motorsports Mania, and by the way, you can hear Jacob and myself call the NASCAR stuff. We'll be back at it again for the next Thursday night, right, Jacob? Next Thursday, the duels.
Yes.
Daytona. That's right. We called the Bowman Gray Clash. That was a wild one.
That was a wild one, obviously.
People hating on that race. I thought it was entertaining. I mean, I think it's a fluke. And then the next day, the people announce that they're taking the dang race to Brazil. How stupid can you be? Like, seriously, why? You bring back the heritage, and now you're going to ship it on a crate across the world? I mean, I don't know. I digress. Here we go. Qualifier race number 12. It is the Blanchard's Towing and Repair, race 12. Hennings and Mains on the front row. Here they come. We'll crank it up one more time for the qualifiers. At Daytona, we are underway. This crank it up's for all of you. Back straight away into 3, thundering now off of turn number 4. They're popping up in view. Here they come. And give the opening lap to Hennings. Jacob, it feels like it's deja vu all over again for the number 074 from the qualifier 11.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. I mean, Hennings was up there at the front. Jason Maines was up there at the front. Buzzy Mongold up here. Now, Buzzy's actually going to go all the way to the front. He gets a pretty good little shove right here from Sturgill. Sturgill's going to get clear. He's going to ship him. He's going to go to the top. He shipped him. He's going to go to the top and hang out Buzzy Mongold. But now Mongold, he's going to have a little bit of help in the form of Brian Andrew. He started on the pole the last race, but he got an EOL, had to start the back, and that's why he didn't end up having a shot at the end of it. He's back up here trying to get him a spot in the last qualifier of the week and try to get into the duels for the NASRA 500.
Sturgill and Hennings right there, 1 and 2. Maines is third. Up the racetrack now, working the back straightaway. That long 3,000-foot super stretch here at the World Center of Racing on iRacing. They go to the back stretch. Sturgill now on the outside. Hennings falls back to second. Maines, of course, this is not Garrett Maines. This is Daddy Jason Maines in that third line. That Linux machine, a Chevrolet, works now off of turn 4 as they come down to the line. It'll now be 3 completed of 30.
So far, it looks pretty clean as of right now. 2 lanes. Everybody on the inside lane trying to get straightened out. A couple of them actually slip and slide back there, but everybody keeps it straight, so we'll keep it green. Sturgill got the lead. Hennings right behind him, sitting in second. Jason D. Maines right now in that transfer spot with Garrison Hogan. Corbett, they want some of it. Mongold wanting some. He's got Andrew trying to give him the shove on the inside lane, but more help up top, Wesley Outland. That inside lane's got to get some more help if they want to have a shot to get up here with Sturgill.
By the way, let's go to the 10th place car. If you showed Buzzy Mongold, watch Darnell. 099. There he is working through the tribal. And there's that purple and black PGR Esports 099 of John Darnell III. He wants to make some noise here in the final qualifier. The James Wagner welding entry. 3 wide almost for the lead. Hung out to dry is Sturgill. He's free falling. Maines to the lead on the back straightaway.
Wow, I'm telling you what, Hennings and Maines both had the same idea. Hennings ended up trying to go to the bottom, but Maines ended up getting down there just a little bit faster than Hennings did, so he's going to end up assuming the lead. And now Hennings and Sturgill, they're going to get kicked back. Here comes the inside lane. Buzzy Mongo still trying to get it going on that inside lane. No, actually, that's Corbett. Sean Corbett on that inside lane trying to give a shove to the driver that is in front of him. Actually, that's Corbett getting the shove. They're all mixed up at this point. Darnell trying to give the shove to Corbett in 1 and 2.
And that seesaw battle happens high and low, bottom top, working down the back straightaway. Now Maines with a push, a shove by Hogan. That's the Racecraft 55 Toyota. Gives him a push. Shot in the shorts, if you will. Up the banking is Maines. Hogan push now with Hennings, and the 2-car tandem's about to become 4, 5-car tandems working off turn 4 as they're bump drafting side by side as well to the line.
And, Wesley, these guys can do that little bit of bump draft. I mean, you can, I guess you could say, slam draft one another. That's what they call these.
Yeah.
And these next-gen cars is literally slam right into somebody's back bumper when you're on the straightaway. If you hit them straight, if you hit them at the wrong corner, you're going to see wrecks like we've seen literally all week long. But so far, everybody slam drafting one another. There you see Hogan giving the shove to Maines, trying to see if they can break away. Now Hennings is going to grab a hold of that draft. He wants some of that. Sturgill trying to get clear of the inside down there with Corbett, as well as Andrew still trying to shove them through 3 and 4.
Inside, outside lane, Hogan. Maines in that Lennox industry number 101. He's up in front. Watch that driver. Of course, the son, Jason Maines. His son, Garrett, won the other night. Last night, as a matter of fact. Can Daddy do it now? From Fountain, Virginia. In the Lennox Premier Racing Setup Century. Back straightaway. They lead 23 to go into 3.
Maines still up on the top side. Hogan actually looking a little bit closer up to the high side. Maines actually middle and then jump back down. Maybe trying to help Hogan out. He was maybe overheating just a little bit, just how close they was. Obviously sealing off the front end of the car, sealing off the radiator and bumping up the oil and the water temps. So maybe that's what Maines was trying to do, probably working with Hogan. That way both of them can get some transfer spots to go to Saturday. So that might have been by design, as you see Maines actually running about a lane lower and letting Hogan jump up there and try to get some air to that car. That way they can keep this outside train going.
Almost 14 seconds from 1st to 36th. Ronnie Brown a handful of laps down right now with 4 as they work their way off the corner. Probably the best sequenced qualifier. My God, I don't want to jinx it. Here they come down to the line. Putting lap number 8 on the board now. 9 on the board. And it's Maines in lead. In tow is Hogan. Corbett now powering with Hennings. Darnell, Sturgill, they're right there, and they're going to swallow up the inside lane and go after the leader. Maines off 2.
Everything's still looking calm, cool, and collected. Maines gets a shove from Hogan on the outside. Hennings trying to keep this outside train rolling on the inside. You got Corbett. You got Andrew. They're trying to get going. Buzzy Mongo down there on the bottom side as well. And Jason Dismore in the 62 trying to follow suit.
Back to the line. And now Maines under attack by cars to the inside. New names want to get up in the P1 spot. Maines carries that momentum up the outside lane. We haven't seen him break 3, 4 wide yet, but they have been running up against the top side at the Hogan car right behind him. There's that 2-car tandem, and now we're seeing Corbett and Darnell. Correction, it's Mongold, actually. Darnell's right behind him. He's behind Corbett. Look at this. And now Mongold right behind him is up the hill. Goes Hennings going after Hogan for second off 4.
And Wesley, what is very interesting is you see this field right here of 21 drivers up here trying to duke it out right here in this lead pack. But what's interesting is there's actually 4 packs, mind you. There's a second pack that's behind them that's led by Dustin Shepard back there in the 22nd spot, as you are seeing Buzzy Mongold, or Corbett actually, going to the lead, but there's 3 separate packs. There's guys that's actually starting to kind of drop back and have 3 separate packs to try to stay at it. There you see the second pack up there at the top right of your screen, and for a glimpse, you can see the third pack about 15 seconds back from the battle for the lead. So some of these guys are kind of waiting it out, Wesley. They've seen wrecks all week long. Those guys that's back there in those 2 packs, or 4 packs, I should say, or other 3 packs, I should say, they're banking on a big one right here in this big pack right here in the lead draft.
Maines inside, looking for the lead on Hogan and Corbett. Hung out to dry was Corbett. Nobody hung with him. Now he's got to help, but he's got to push. And they're pushing each other. They're spinning each other. Caution back straight away. And it all started with Corbett getting pushed out of line. Some more cars got collected. Ronnie Brown also involved. Caution out for the first time just before halfway. Here is your Pulse Poppers instant replay. So much for that
replay
flag run here, Jacob.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it was bound to happen, and one night it did. Shades of Garth Brooks from Papa Love Mama. Thank you very much, Wesley Allen, for correcting me the other night. But, I mean, it was bound to happen, and tonight it did right there. I mean, honestly, I was kind of waiting for it. I mean, this is a pretty good little green flag run that we had. I was really hoping that we was going to keep it green.
Corbett's car. Corbett's car is what started it. That's another incident on the front straightaway. Find Corbett. When Corbett got pushed out of line, that is what caused him to bottleneck behind them. He's still in fourth. Corbett's in fourth, but follow that. Watch him fall back, and you'll find where the accident took place. Right here off turn 2.
I mean, he kind of lost his drafting help right there, stacked up that outside lane, and then Mongo tried to get out of the gas.
Oh, man, it's the 087 also. Wow. The 087 car, remember, he was the one that got up in the air last night from the top all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. The driver, wow.
That's Rittenauer.
Yeah, that's Ray Rittenauer the second. Ray Rittenauer. Yes, sir, the 287. And now we got a good idea of where it happened. It started when Corbett got pushed out of line, and then everyone else just kind of went sliding away like the lyrics to the Paul Simon song.
There you see it right there. I mean, you see Mongo was actually going to go to the outside of Corbett, and then he jumps back in line. Rittenauer kind of wasn't expecting him to do that, but Corbett jumped up and blocked that advance, stacked everybody up right there. Mongo tried to get out of the gas, and Rittenauer just couldn't get out of it fast enough. Ends up tagging him at the left rear, sends him around, and tears up some more race cars.
Driver out of Connellsville, Pennsylvania. The Lucky Dogs Doggy Daycare, Sip and Shine Racing 287. Look at this again. Beautiful race car, by the way. I love the silver bullet colors. And this is where it started. Again, the number 45, Sean Corbett, got pushed out of a line there. I'm sorry, Sean Corbett. And when he did, Jacob, that bottlenecked the field behind them. Watch here again. Watch this again. Watch up top. The 45, Mongold into him, Rittenauer. And there's Darnell on the inside. Did he get a piece of it? Watch again.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely got a piece of it. You see it right there. Mongold comes straight down. Wow. And, Darnell, his right side tires actually come up off. Honestly, come up off a track. He was bicycling it right there, coming off turn 2 with 2 wheels. And, but wow, hard impact right there. That's, like I said, Wesley, like I said, I'm sounding like a broken record on a lot of things I've talked about this week, but that's the same thing. It's just one of those things right there with super speedway racing.
It's just one of those things. One of those things is also taking a break, and we got to do that now. We're back for the final qualifier when we return from Daytona.
One of those. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation thrives on the strength of its global community of over 80,000 passionate fans united by a shared love of professional wrestling and a commitment to making a difference. While the foundation was founded to advocate for pediatric cancer awareness and mental health support, it has grown to champion and support multiple initiatives aimed at creating meaningful change in communities worldwide. Through dynamic fundraising events, awareness campaigns, and initiatives that foster connection, the Foundation supports causes that uplift individuals and families in need. From empowering children and families facing significant challenges to creating opportunities for hope, healing, and progress. The Mania Club Champions of Hope Foundation is dedicated to being a force for good. This connected and compassionate community continues to inspire action and drive impact, ensuring that hope and support remain at the forefront of all its efforts. Donate today and join the cause at mcchamps.org.
Lights off for the pace car as we are working the final. Yes, for those that have been with us all week long, the final qualifier of the NASRA 500 Speed Week. Tomorrow night, join us for the first of 3 100-miler 40-lappers. Top 17 of the first 2 last chance races. 16 of the final of the 3 tomorrow night right here as we come back to green. And Jason Maines and Attaboy back up in front again from Powelton, Virginia. Hennings right there on his inside, and they're not going to waste no time, Jacob. Going to a 2-car, 4-car tandem up the hill. 6 cars maybe in a turn 1.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's going to be about 6, and it may end up being 8, maybe 10 before it's all said and done. Wagner looked like he was going to dart out of line. Thought better of it. He'll jump back up to the top. As now we get a couple of guys. Dismore actually going to get the shove from right behind him. I believe that is the 044, not Stephen Thomas. Not this time around. That's not Stephen Thomas. That's Jonathan Barker trying to give him the shove, but everybody lined up on the top side.
Working off 4th down to the line. Nightfall settling in here in qualifier number 12. And you got to remember, the 500 will start around 3 o'clock Eastern time. It'll probably work from day and transition into night by the end of it. That'll be something definitely that we'll have to keep an eye on and watch with all of this happening with the transition of the conditions in the day and the night. Back straightaway, Maines in front, though. Jacob Hennings behind him, and so is Hogan back up to 3rd. Sturgill says, I'll go on my own. Hogan jumps out of line and try to go 3 wide, but he backed up.
Yeah, but he's going to get a little bit of help right there in the form of Stephen Miles on that inside lane. Right behind him, Matthew Montgomery trying to get up here, get his name called as well. And also, you got Ryan Andrew, John Darnell, I should say, the 3rd on that inside lane. He's trying to make it into the duels as well. But inside, starting to get some takers this time around, Wesley. There for a second, I thought we was going to keep it single file for the next at least 10 laps. But now, they want to race it out. They want to show what they got here in the final qualifier of the week.
Yeah, we'll watch it. As watch Darnell fight his way, clawing back up, even after what happened between him and Corbett and the other car on the last caution. Look at this. Mongold up the hill as well. 3 wide behind them, for back behind the top 12. At least the top 15, actually. And then it's 3 wide. 11 to go. Halfway home already, and we're closing in on the end of this one.
I'm telling you, baby, this is going to be a good one right here. If they can keep it clean. It looks like this is going to be a pretty good one. Is now Jason Maines still got that lead. Thought about jumping down to the bottom side. Couldn't do it. Sturgill on that inside lane with help from Miles. Up top, Maines trying to get the shove from Hennings. Trying to see if he can get clear. But will he jump down and try to put the block? He ain't going to be able to pull it off. Sturgill, he's going to get the lead. Now Maines comes down, side drafts, pulls Sturgill back. Maines is now going to get side drafted by Sturgill. They're side drafting one another for the lead.
Blanchard's towing and repair qualifier number 12. And right now, Maines from Virginia leading. 10 laps to go, 20 completed. The final chapter of the preliminaries of Monday through Thursday are about to be written. With Maines now going to push by Hennings. Back straightaway, they're all side by side as they work into turn number 3.
Main still up top, heading still there. Literally 2 wide through the field. It's like a high-speed pace lap right here with 10 laps to go. Sooner or later, somebody's going to break out of line and try to make it 3 wide. Now, Mains, he's going to be the high-speed pace car, I guess you could say. But no, here we go. They're going to go 3 wide. Darnell's going to be the sucker hole. He's going to the back. As we got Spinners, Rittenhour spinning around. No caution. Now there is.
Crashing below the start-finish line. It started with the 87 and a host of others piled in from there. Second yellow flag, though, of the qualifying race. Besides the first one that launched it on Monday night, it feels like forever ago, this definitely has been the most entertaining. Watch the replay. Here it is. Caution out with under 10 remaining, 9 to go at the line, and another crash here. Watch this in the back. Nowhere to go for our buddy in the 87, man. Your car missed it, though, Jacob. Lyons did. The 57. Barely. He got lucky. Huck Wigginton.
Barely.
Look at that. Starbase. 1552 Comics and others. Watch it one more time in real time. Another Pulse Popper instant replay. Here's a replay of it again.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got a bump or bad bump draft gone wrong.
Bradley,
again, maybe
that was Bradley or right Bo Tiffany. That was Bo Tiffany. Bo Tiffany into Wigginton again. Wow.
Just a stack up right there, Wes. I mean, inside lane was starting to stack up, and they was just starting to make some hay and starting to make some 3 wide action going on right there. And then there you see Bo kind of looks like he was trying to get back down or maybe even try to go 3 wide. It didn't pay off for him. Right behind him, you got the 864. Daniel Lawless ends up getting involved as well. And then after that one, it's like we've said all week, Wesley, everybody just trying to survive.
Look at the spark. Look at the debris. Watch this again on board with Kristen Bruce. It's not been a fun week for him. Probably the smartest thing to do. Wow, he just got hit by the 42 there just a little bit. On board with Huck Wigginton. This should be an interesting one. The Wigginton car. Huck Wigginton, the Starbase 1552 Comics entry.
And what's
car number
big
42
deal
from Nashville. Watch this again. Watch.
Wow. Oh, Rittenhour, so close to being able to try to miss it right there. And then there you see Lyons in the 57. But, I look back at what we were talking about with Tristan Bruce was in a pretty good spot to be able to lift, Wesley. When you're back there in the back like that and you ain't got a whole lot of people behind you, or much anybody behind you, then you have that option of just slamming on the brakes and not having to worry about anybody running you over at that point. Ow. But right there where Tristan is right there, I mean, he's in a pretty good spot to be able to try to lift and seeing all this chaos happen right here in front of him. So he didn't have to worry about anybody running him over or anything like that. He was just in good prime position to hit the brakes. There you see Casey Mink in the 69. He gets involved as well. Man, I'm telling you, some wrecked race cars have been here at virtual Daytona this week.
I will tell you this as well. One of the things that have been in enforcement since Monday is any vehicles that are blinking. If anybody has any type of server issues, they give you a warning. So far, we've not seen anything like that, Jacob. But they point blank said, we're going to enforce it. If you do it one time, we'll give you a warning. But if you continue, you will be kicked from the server. No matter if you get PO'd, no matter if you get mad, you're going to get bumped because we want to have a good product put out. And so far, from what I've seen, Jacob, they flawlessly have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with it 100%, folks. I mean, think about it like this. Think about it like that you're on I-75 going through Atlanta. At least that's where I end up going. And just think about it when you're right there on 75, 4 lanes, and then all of a sudden somebody just disappears, and then they reappear right back, just after a couple of seconds. It would literally scare the crap out of you. I mean, it would scare you to death. You wouldn't know what to think. So when you're doing 3 wide and everything like we've been seeing here at Daytona, and people start blinking out while they're racing against you and everything else, they don't want people reappearing and coming back up Obviously, it's internet connection on their end, but they don't want people reappearing and coming back up and then causing big ones. We haven't seen that here so far this week. We haven't seen those blinking issues because obviously the NASRA officials have been keeping an eye on that. But I agree with that rule 100% to the T that needs to be in place, and it certainly is.
Enforced for sure. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're at 9:14. If you're new to NASRA or our broadcast coverage of the NASRA 500, I encourage you, please, hit that subscribe button. Just do it for me. Do it for Jacob. Hit that subscribe button. We would like to hit to 1,000 by Friday. By the end of Friday, I'd love to be at 1,000 before the NASRA 500. I see we got close to 70 plus, 100 plus at one time. A lot of numbers. This has been a historical week for NASRA in our broadcast numbers as well. Thank you. And you just do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. After the NASRA 500, you can unsubscribe if you want to. I mean, I would say
happy.
Just hit that subscribe button for sure. The more you know. Now have the star and the rainbow go across the screen. Remember the more you know, Jacob? Or remind Velen how old I am. Remember the more you know?
Yeah, you might be, Wesley. I'll be honest with you. And I'll tell you what, light it up right there in the live chat.
Jacob.
Hold up. We talked about this in the live chat a couple of days ago and everything else. Wesley talking about we're going to be on camera and everything else. We want to hear your feedback for Saturday when we go on cam. Do you want to see the Australian Dean Hopton on camera?
Yes.
Light it up in the live chat. We want to hear it.
Hell yeah, I'm calling it. I have the overruling of everybody as the veteran of NASRA broadcasting. I'm telling you, if he's not, he better get on camera. Amazing. We're back to green with 5 to go here in qualifier number 12. It feels like it, doesn't it? Sturgill up in front now. Maines on the inside. Pushed by Hennings. Pushed by Miles, and so is also Andrew up on the outside lane. They hit the back straightaway, Jacob. It's go time, buddy.
Yeah, it's go time. 9 ways to Sunday, and here comes Sturgill on that outside lane. He's got Miles lined up right behind him and Ryan Andrew lined up behind him. 3 against 2. It's going to pay off that way as now the other 2 that was on the inside lane, they're going to jump up, and they're going to try to latch on to the front 3 trying to separate themselves. Steven Miles wearing out Michael Sturgill's back bumper, trying to separate himself from the rest of the field, but eventually he's got a lift. If he doesn't, he's going to end up blowing the motor, and that's something you don't want to do in the final qualifier of the week.
4 laps to go, 10 miles remaining. Out of line, pushing, gonna be the one. Maines powers back up high. Jason Maines. Now, top to bottom. Sturgill and Miles pull down in front of the one. He gets blocked. There's a push, a shove. 3 cars fighting to get through Hennings and Andrew. They all had to get on the binders there, and they did it perfectly. Working through 4, 3 to go as they come to the line.
Yeah, and really, honestly, I mean, this is where, I hate to say it, Wesley, but this is where the give a damn is going to go out the window right here. This is the final shot for some of these guys to be able to have a shot, and there they go. And that right there might have been what it was, is Ryan Andrew. Looked like he might have bump drafted a little bit too hard with one of these drivers, and I believe it was Jason Maines. Ended up getting into his back bumper, sends him around, and we got another caution.
What's the lyrics to that country song when actually country music was country music? My give a damn's busted. Watch this. Going into turn 1. I believe it was Hennings and Maines. There it is. There's the shot. And then you see those cars spinning on the bottom of the racetrack, go up to turn 1. And Jacob, then you've got more calamity from everybody checking up here. And by the way, we are going 11 out of 12 races into an overtime finish.
I'm not surprised. Not one bit, honestly, West Outland. Not surprised one bit. There you see. It's going to be on the top side. There's Hennings right there. Just gets blindsided to the right side. Gets nailed by Maines. And wow, and then he rolls it over once, twice, and comes to rest on his wheels. And Hennings is not going to be too happy about that one.
Yep.
But, hey, I mean, bad
It's
bump
Brian
draft.
Hennings.
I mean, it's stacked up, and there goes Mike.
Whoa! Jackson's Welding PGR 574 up and over in a shower of sparks. You see the undercarriage skeleton of the car as it all keeps everything else intact, just like these new next-gen cars have done, even in real life, but you see the damage of Henning's car. By the way, PGR 500 was last week, and Daniel Falkingham was the winner of that race last Sunday. Here's a replay of again. Hennings is already in his own world, and another tough break there, spinning wildly, but no damage for Powelton, Virginia's Jason Maines there, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, there you see John Darnell. We'll see if he can slide through it. No, he cannot. As there you see right there with drivers going up from the bottom or going all the way up to the top. See John Darnell right on board with him. You see all the chaos. He tried to go basically where he thought they wasn't going to go, and then bad luck for him. Bam, there they are. Lucas Lyons, 57. At least he's got a LCQ. He'll be at least racing tomorrow anyways. But wow, I mean, just hard impact for some of these drivers. It's like I said, it comes down to crunch time, Wes Outland. Guys are sending it.
Another look at it again. By the way, your car, there's Corbett. Sean Corbett caught up in it. There's Wagner. Oh, Jacob, there's your car. Lucas Lyons caught up in it as well. Darnell caught up in the accident. So many good contenders trashed here. But as you said, you knew it was go time. There's that inner zone. Watch it again. Let's go on board with Jacob Reeves' car. Lucas Lyons in the 57 there, Dean. You take a look at it.
Yeah, I mean, there you see all the chaos and everything else. It's like he kind of gets hooked in the left rear. My baby was coming down a little bit, not 100%, but then you see the calamity right there. Not as hard as Brian Henning's accident was right there, but you see, kind of spins around, gets up into the wall, and carries on. Car kind of, Peacock ends up getting involved in it as well. I mean, just, wow.
With Peacock. With Taylor Peacock now, before we go to a break. Watch this when we get ready for overtime. Right in the middle, nowhere to go. Wow. Wow. Well, we're going to break, and we get ready for overtime. Daytona, stay with us. The final qualifier decided when we return. Ready to settle it here in the qualifying nights, Monday through Thursday. Feel like it's been a breeze. Thanks for everybody that's been staying with us, especially heading towards the midnight hour, and another night will do just that. Very quickly, we'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification on the Community Radio Network for the NASRA 500. Thanks for joining us as we are approaching midnight in the East Coast of the U.S., 11 p.m. Central. And we are heading back to the Geico Restart Zone for overtime. 11 out of 12 qualifying races. Jacob Reeves, Wesley Outland, Bigglestein hopped in, making us look good, sound good, and this awesome production for the last 4 nights. And we are ready for the final chapter.
Green flag.
Back to green. This is it. 5 miles, 2 laps, overtime for Blanchard towing and recovery. Qualifier number 12. They're in turn 1. Sturgill's got the bump for Miles in the corner.
And right behind him, you got Garrison Hogan trying to etch his name into the duels for Saturday. But on the inside, here comes Ryan Andrew. He's getting the shove. He's got Montgomery right behind him. Robbie Richards in the 048 trying to go as well. Larry McDonald trying to shoot up here as well. As now we got to move. Here comes Mongold. He's going to go to the inside. Who's behind him? It's Bo Tiffany. Wesley Bo has tried numerous times throughout this week to make it into the duels. He may have a shot coming to the white.
Working off turn 4, Tiffany with a push. And the West Texas Pepper Traders white flag is out, 1 to go. Who's going to be around on the other side of the final 2.5 mile? Pushed up high is Sturgill. And going around, Bo Tiffany in front. We're wrecking behind them. Into the races on to the finish. Wreckers or checkers there, Jacob?
Yeah, and Bo Tiffany lost his help, and it looks like that might be all she wrote. As Sturgill up here with Miles, and he's up here with Garrison Hogan. Front 3 looks like they got a transfer. Bo's going to be 1 spot short. Sturgill leads off 4.
Here they come, top 3 cars. Working single file. They're not going to shuffle or shake, rattle, or roll. They're going to go into the duels on Saturday. Sturgill, Michael Sturgill Jr., will be the final winner of the qualifiers here for the NASRA 500 Road to the Great American Sim Race. Stephen Miles will finish second, up 15 spots. Garrison Hogan third in his Toyota. Bo Tiffany missing the spot by 1. I really believe, Jacob, when those cars got sideways crashing out of 2, it really took the momentum away from the 40. Watch this one more time, as I believe we're going to show it to you. Here's the finish coming to the line here, Jacob. And again, nobody broke out of line. They knew where they needed to be. They're 1, 2, 3. We'll see them Saturday morning.
Yeah, I don't blame them one bit. I mean, obviously, we saw a couple of them right there at the end of some of the qualifiers just go ahead and just have a last-ditch effort to at least try to race it out for the win. But I think, honestly, Miles at that point was just happy knowing that he's going to be able to transfer and go straight into Saturday and not have to worry about the chaos that could ensue in the LCQs. So I'm not surprised to see Miles do that. I'm sure he's just happy to get that transfer. As you see Michael Sturgill Jr. burning it down here for qualifier number 12 here at Daytona.
Number 12 in the books, and he is in Florida. Cabinet Distributors, Victory Lane. The celebration is on. Big thanks again to Florida Cabinet Distributors for what they've done. We'll mention all the other sponsors before we part ways for the night. But again, oh boy, here's a look at the results. And Florida Cabinet Distributors, Victory Lane, coming up those CRN post-race interviews. Michael Sturgill Jr., winner. Stephen Miles, second. Garrison Hogan, the podium. Those 3 next, we're going to talk to them. Bo Tiffany missing the transfer by 1 spot. He does go to a last chance qualifier tomorrow night along with the rest of them. Dustin Shepard, Larry McDonald, Lucas Lyons, Shane Trotter, James Wagner, Ryan Schreckengost, Jonathan Barker, Richard Elliott, John Darnell, and Tyler Daniels, 4th to 14th. Unless they've done better earlier in the week, they can transfer from this. Clint Mata, Ray Rittenauer the second, Shane Madden, Robert Richards, your top 18, Jacob.
And Jason Dismore is going to be 19th. J.D. Larson is going to end up finishing 20th, with Casey Meent finishing in 21st. Matt Montgomery will be 22nd. Daniel Lawless will be 23rd. Ryan Andrew will be 24th. Sean Corbett's going to end up finishing 25th, with Michael Wingo in 26th. Jeffrey Hyatt is going to end up finishing 27th. Buzzy Mongold in 28th. Jason D. Maines and Ed Osborne, the top 30.
Brian Hennings, Taylor Peacock, him finishing in 31st, 32nd. Huck Wigginton. By the way, from Mongold on back, a lap down or more from Jason Maines to the finish. Tristan Bruce, 34th, another rough race for him. Ronnie Foster, Stephen Gregory, Ronnie Brown, Rest of the lineup in the back of the field will find the other drivers. And I think that's it because these other guys were in race control. And Christopher McCullough, maybe Lucas Whitehead were also, Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott were running race control. So, all right, one more thing of business to do. We are shaping ourselves up for absolutely phenomenal last chance qualifiers. I got a feeling tonight those 3 100-milers will be fun. Let's take a listen to the thoughts of Michael Sturgill, winner of qualifier number 12, presented by Blanchard's Towing and Recovery, and of course, or Blanchard's Towing and Repair. And this is our CRN post-race interviews. Michael Sturgill, congratulations. A very exciting race. It got a little wild there at the end, but you held your own. Put that 90 car to the wind light. Congratulations, sir. You're in the duels on Saturday.
Thank you. Very excited that I can go straight to the duels and I don't have to run a last chance qualifier, but I got to give a shout out to Steven. He's the one who got me the win for sure. We worked really well together, and once we were locked up, we were pretty confident we could make it happen. And then also Brandon Broadfoot, he had paid for an entry and gave it to me for this race tonight. So I got to get in here and take a second crack at it and made the most of it.
Hey, Michael, you talked about that right there, Steve and Miles, both of y'all working together. I mean, that's going to give you a little bit of confidence, knowing that, when it comes down to that last lap or last 2 laps or what have you, that's got to give you a little bit of confidence knowing that you got somebody that you can trust to be right behind you and basically shove you all the way, at least off turn 4, where y'all might have a photo finish or something like that, but it's got to be nice to have somebody that you trust right behind you at that point.
Oh yeah, it's huge at this place and Talladega. I mean, if you're just by yourself, you definitely need someone that you can communicate with and make moves together while you're locked up. If you don't have that, you're gonna have a really hard time getting it done.
Michael, we'd like you to thank your sponsors, buddy, but how wild do you think the last chance qualifiers are going to be tomorrow night? And how is the feeling knowing that you don't have to deal with that Saturday morning for the duels?
The feeling's great. I need to catch up on sleep, so that means I get to sleep in a little bit. I'm sure they're going to be wild races here. I mean, the qualifiers alone were wild, so you get those guys in the last chance. I'm sure it's going to get pretty crazy. As far as sponsors, I just want to thank Shady Designs. He does all my cars. And thank you guys up in the booth. I know you've had a long week. And Brady and all the other admins for putting this thing on.
Michael Sturgill, ladies and gentlemen, driver of the number 90 machine. Of course, he will take the final qualifier for the Blanchard's Towing qualifying race number 12. Of course, the beautiful number 90 machine. You see that car now on the broadcast, just kind of showing a recap of what he did. The man, of course, out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and the Moscow Joe's Sturgill Racing entry, getting it done. Let's go down to second place and grab Stephen Miles. Stephen, Michael spoke very highly of you. I think there was a stalemate, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you're just wanting to go 1 to 3. That's why you really didn't make a push to try to fight for the finish, did you? And by the way, he is from Houghton, Louisiana. Good job here for second, Stephen.
Yeah. After I think this is my 5th try, so coming in 4th place that last race, I kind of wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. But this race right here, man, the first 15 laps was hectic and kind of stagnant. Couldn't really go nowhere. You go bottom, go to the top. You couldn't really make no run. And there after that caution, man, I seen Michael go to the bottom, and I felt like I'm one of the best pushers, so I just wanted to get behind him and try to make some ground up. And after that, he jumped in the Discord and was like, "Hey, man, will you run with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll run with you, dude." And right there, I was just trying to manage the runs and try to block whatever we could. But I told him, "Man, I'm behind you. I'm gonna push till I blow up. Don't worry about me passing. Just hold on to her." And that's exactly what we did.
And, Stephen, coming off turn 4 right there, obviously, I mean, y'all knew that y'all was in good shape. I mean, there wasn't really nobody, honestly, within an earshot distance of trying to get to y'all. Did you think, just for one split second about possibly pulling down? I mean, I know Sturge will trust you, and I know you trusted him and everything else. But did you just think for just 1 second to just say, you know what? I'm a racer at heart. Screw it. I'm just going to pull to the left, and I'm going to try to at least win the race.
Nah, I didn't, cause actually I was worried about my engine blowing up coming out of four actually, so I was just looking at my water temps and seeing how high I could really get them and trying to make sure I ain't blow up and take myself out of my opportunity. Cause I mean, if you race 5 of these races, winning kind of dampers a little bit. You just want to get in that top 3. And I told him once we linked up, this is the first time me and Michael ever even talked to each other. So I mean, I just appreciate him taking my word for it, and I'm not gonna go back on that. And I told him I was gonna push to his win, and I did it.
And obviously, what does it mean to you to know that you don't have to deal with the craziness that is the qualifiers, the last chance qualifiers, the hooligans tomorrow night, and you're in the duel, man?
I think it's just everybody that's be able to get this opportunity just could take a breath because they know either way the duel is gonna be hectic too. Every race, even the main is gonna be hectic. And after doing 5 of these races and getting in on my last try, I feel like I prepared myself for what's to come. So I guess just starting up in the front of that duel and try to stay there and miss everything that's gonna happen and try to make it to this feature just one step at a time.
Buddy, got any sponsors you want to thank?
I want to thank Asheville Rooftop, man, in North Carolina. I want to thank Nightmare Esports. I mean, Vince just won the last race, so I ain't have my teammate to race with in this one. So thank y'all in the broadcast booth for putting this on because y'all making people reach out and meet new people and bond and a lot of like community around here. So thank y'all. Thank my mom, my dad, my girl. And again, Nightmare Esports, man, be on the lookout, man, because we plan on trying to make a run for this.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's a lot of nightmares coming for many people because we've seen a lot of talent from Nightmare Esports. Thank you so much, Stephen. We'll see you Saturday morning.
Thank you.
Stephen Miles will put that 124 in the second spot, and finally we will grab the third place man as we continue our CRN post-race interviews, and Garrison Hogan in the Toyota number 55 will be our final qualifier of the qualifying nights for the Great American Sim Race. The driver of the 55 out of Milledgeville. I'm sorry, is it Milledgeville, Georgia? Am I right?
No, you were right, actually. It's
Milledgeville, wasn't it? Milledgeville. Boy, I should never second guess myself. Milledgeville, Georgia. I used to have a buddy of mine, race car driver, Parker Martin, used to live from Milledgeville. I used to call him the Milledgeville Bulldog. But hey, when it's said and done, you're in the duels for Saturday. How you feeling, buddy, that Red Team 55 Toyota?
Yeah, that was a little bit more stressful, chaotic than what I wanted it to be. And I don't know, it was my second attempt in this. I've never raced with these guys before, so everything was all brand new. And Monday's patch came out too with this car and changed some things. So I just had to learn as I went, and it was really survival and being in the right place at the right time. But that's every plate race.
You speak of the patch. You speak of the patch. What was it that came out that changed the car, if you will? I'm sorry, Jacob. What was it that changed the car, Garrison?
So I feel like the runs are just not as big as they normally are. Normally we would have huge runs coming up to a pack, and you could kind of break that bubble of air, and now you're not really getting that as much. And so it's causing a little bit more chaos in the middle of the pack because people know that if you have 2 or 3 cars that are really, really hooked up, in the front, you can't really get anything going. So you have to have some good people pushing each other, and without good teamwork, it's not going to go anywhere.
Well, good job, Wesley. You basically took my question right there for
I'm sorry. I'm
right
my bad, man.
Wow. Nah, you get what? But I tell you what. I'll kind of piggyback off of it and kind of throw it at you like this. I mean, these next gen cars, they've went through so many updates. 9 Boys Sunday, however you want to look at it and everything. And what's it feel like to go into races of this magnitude and have to change your driving style and change what you've known, for quite some time, how these next gen cars run at Daytona and super speedways and everything? What's it like going into these races knowing that you've got to change up what you would normally do?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about being, I guess, open-minded is the best way to put it, right? Like, you have to go in there and kind of see what works, what doesn't work in the middle of the pack or wherever you are, And if you have time, experiment with something. Try to build a run. Try to see if you can hold off runs. And it's a lot that goes into it. It's a lot of mind games. I don't think it's a skill thing when it comes to plate racing more than it is just being 1, 2, 3 steps sometimes ahead of the next person and just knowing how to position yourself.
Well, Garrison, how wore out do you think everybody is after these long 4 nights of qualifying races? And obviously you get a mulligan because you don't have to really worry about anything until Saturday for the duels. But again, you're not even locked in the NASRA 500 yet, though. I mean, is that that mindset, though, knowing that you still have work to do yourself?
I mean, I've been in this position before in other leagues. And like I said, this is my first time here. So like I said, getting around some of these guys and seeing how they race is the big thing. But going into it, I'm glad I'm not competing in the LCQ. That was a big relief right there, finishing third. But it will be crazy tomorrow night, so I'm pretty sure people will tune into that. And Saturday, hopefully with the duels, I can just take my time and make sure I get to the end of the race. The biggest thing is giving myself an opportunity. And if you can give yourself an opportunity, anything can happen on the last lap.
Well, buddy, Garrison, before we let you go, please thank your sponsors. We'll see you Saturday morning.
Yeah, first off, Channel 199 Esports. That team is supporting me. They've supported me since my last Road to Pro run last year. And Dead Zone Racing is the team that I'm on officially on iRacing. So thanks to those guys. Thanks to Malik Ray, of course, for giving me an opportunity to even know about this league. I wouldn't have known about it without his recommendation like over a month ago. So that was really good. Thank you guys for broadcasting this. I didn't know it was broadcasted until, I got here. But appreciate you guys for doing that all night and all week. And thanks to the sponsors of this league as well.
There you go. Mr. Garrison Hogan, ladies and gentlemen, from Milledgeville, Georgia. He will be the final driver to make it in to the duels on Saturday morning. Now, we shift from what is to be obviously, we shift from what is to be now tonight to what comes up tomorrow, and 4 nights in the books with the completion of the qualifying races. Now set the stage for those crazy 100-milers. Jacob Reeves are going to be wild. Those last chance races, those hooligan races on deck beginning tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, sir.
Yes, sir. And to be honest with you, I can't remember the band that sung it, but actually I remember who it was. It was actually Bacham Tuner Overdrive. If I pronounced that right, Wesley, hey, you ain't seen nothing yet. If you thought you saw all the craziness that you've seen throughout this week, you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till we get to these LCQs. You were talking about those races. This is going to get crazy. This is going to get absolutely wild. This is going to be something, like I've said, Wesley, this whole event is something honestly everybody's going to be talking about for years to come. But these races tomorrow is going to be these guys' last chance to be able to make it to the duels. That's why they're last chance qualifiers. This is when it's going to get crazy. People are going to make crazy moves. They may end up making stupid moves, but at the same time, they're going to make some of the craziest moves that you've probably ever seen on iRacing. I'm telling you right now, LCQs, you don't want to miss them.
Baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. In the words of Bacham Turner Overdrive, Wesley and Jacob's version, no doubt about it. It has been fun. Well, it's been exhausting. Listen, it takes a village. Everybody from Cody Knott to Brady LaBeouf to Robert Richards to so many people that are behind the scenes working on the race directing, working on the day-to-day. I mean, we're literally, besides the broadcast, there's preparation, working on the entry list, making sure these names are not accidentally bumped and moved out, taken out of this spot and that spot, reviewing video, making sure everybody's winning the fairway. It's been fun, and the road is not done yet to the Great American Sim Race. We will do it again tomorrow with the Last Chance Qualifiers. Coverage begins again at 9 p.m., 8:50, 9 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night. One more time, I want to thank all of our sponsors that always make it happen. Big thank you, as always, to Battle Beaver Customs, Catch Fence, Motorsports, Raw Products. Thank you also to the Brickyard. Merritt Mechanical, the Blanchard's Towing, DSR Electric, Cokefield Asphalt for finishing, DSR Electric, Cokefield Supply and Service, Champions of Hope Foundation, Glass Mechanic, Jackson Wagner's Welding, Community Radio Network, Rattled Cage Podcast, Florida Cabinet Distributors for the starting lineup grid and the poll, and of course the Victory Lane celebration. West Texas Pepper Traders, West Texas Pepper Traders, Serve Pro, Pulse Poppers, L&R Lawn Care, and most of all, from everybody at NASRA, we thank our awesome audience listening or watching on the NASRA 360 Racing Network and listening on the Community Radio Network. We will do it again tomorrow. And tomorrow, the Hooligan Last Chance Qualifiers will be up for grabs. There'll be 3 100-miler, 40-lappers, no fast repair. The top 17 of the first 2, the top 16 of the last one of the 3 make it in to the duels on Saturday. As again, qualifying races are done Monday through Thursday in the books. Now it's time to really trim the fat from 200 down to the 80 best to race the duels on Saturday morning. For everybody at NASRA, for Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott, all of our amazing people, North American Sim Racing Association.com for more information. For Bigglestein, Hopton on production, for the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves. This is Wesley Outland. Strap in. Qualifiers are done. The last chance races tomorrow as the road to the Great American Sim Race and the NASRA 500 gets closer to Saturday's green flag.